what life gives. We will take and make yellow flowers. Says, take your burden down to my soil. Now we'll make yellow flowers for you.
It is easy to donate to the charity cycle ride. Donate now by calling the contact centre or by clicking the donate option on our website. And thank you.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Designer Inspiration. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Becky and we are joined by our guest designer today, the wonderful Teresa. Hi Teresa, how are you?
I'm all right, how are you?
Very, very good. We will be heading over to Teresa in a little bit. I just want to give you a little bit of a heads up exactly what we have going on in the show today. I'm really, really excited about one of my star buys today. I've got for you a moulding compound, which means that you can make your very own moulds of whatever you might want to do. I'll be talking to you more about that later, but it's a really exciting product and I'm going to be bringing that to you very, very shortly. As well as that, I have got some beautiful earring posts which we haven't seen for a long time. They're earring posts with butterfly backs and they're 925 sterling silver. So we haven't had it for quite a while, so if maybe you need to stock up on that, this is the show for you. As well as that, we've got some beautiful goodies in our one-stop shop. That's coming up for you in our second hour. After that, we're going to head back over to Teresa for her second designer inspiration kit. And in that, we have beautiful, stunning carnelian gemstones, really high quality, and we're going to be working with some beautiful techniques to create some quite ornate pieces for that designer inspiration. And then finally, in my last hour, I have got some real goodies, including some stunning butylated quartz. So many goodies for you today. If you are new to us, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Designer Inspiration Show, what we do is we go over to our guest designer for quite a portion of the time to get step-by-step help on how to create some beautiful pieces. It's also your chance to message us in with any questions you might have to help finish off some of your pieces. Maybe you need a bit of inspiration, a bit of ideas. Message us in JewelleryMaker.com. Alternatively, you can text us to 60777. Start your text with JM Studio and we'll try and get as many of those questions answered as we can. It's going to be a fab show today. Teresa, you've been on with us a few times now, but for someone who hasn't seen you before, give us a little bit about your background.
Well, I've been making jewellery on and off really since I was a teenager. I do a lot of different crafts, so I've always considered myself a crafter really.
Yes.
And kind of got into jewellery a lot bigger time, I suppose, a few years ago. Was really making with glass because gemstones weren't around until I kind of discovered Jewellery Maker.
Yeah.
The last year or so I've been setting up business to really just kind of sell some of the bits and pieces that I've made more than anything else really.
Yes.
But yeah, I do tend to kind of specialise, I suppose, in wirework, but I like to dabble with lots of different things really.
Because you have actually used a macrame technique through one of these pieces, haven't you? So although you might think wirework is the wrapping, we are going to be working with it in a macrame format in our first designer inspiration. Now, the designer inspiration, what we're going to do in around 10 minutes is we'll head over to Teresa, look at the pieces she's created, and she'll talk us through and show us how she's managed to make them. But what we do in designer inspiration is we give you the chance at home to own everything that Teresa has worked with, so you can create the pieces she's done, the pieces we talk you through, but also you'll have plenty more left over to have a little bit of a play with at home. I'm going to give you the chance to own this kit right now. First off, I'll bring to you our wires. Now in here we've got coloured wire, and I know at home a lot of you have been asking about this. You've got 30 metres worth in total. You've got 0.4 10 metres worth of your turquoise colour. You also have 0.6 10 metres in the turquoise colour again. And finally you have our structural 1mm wire, 10 metres of this also in your turquoise colour. So you've got 30 metres in total of your 0.4, your 0.6 and your 1mm. So perfect for structural, perfect for your weaving, and great for findings. And 0.6 is good, isn't it? Because it sort of does a bit of everything.
Yeah, it's malleable enough to actually weave with if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But it is quite strong as well if you needed to do the findings and structural work.
It's perfect for that. So you have all 3 gauges there. We've also got your gemstones. You have 3 strands in total in this. The first one I'm showing you now are these wonderful, dramatic 12mm faceted rounds. 130 carats worth we have of this blue colour-coated chalcedony. It's an 18cm strand, and you'll be able to see the richness of this blue. It's so deep, it's almost got a lapis type blue tone to it, of course not with the gold running through. It's the sparkle from this faceting is what's giving it this beautiful, almost glitter-like appeal to the surface of each of these gemstones. So as well as this, we also have a really beautiful strand of sodalite. You've got 50 carats worth in this strand, and again it's mimicking the blue tones that you have in that coated chalcedony. So these are your 4mm plain rounds. The beautiful thing with these is you have that subtlety of the white flecks throughout. I know sometimes in sodalite it's quite dramatic, isn't it? But I'm really appreciating the subtlety. It's almost just melting into each other, the beautiful blue and white tones of this sodalite. And finally, we have, just to add a little bit of a juxtaposition between the colours, as opposed to the bold blue, you've got some subtle cloudy quartz here, and this is 170 carats worth in your 8mm faceted rounds. Again, they have this seductive sparkle. The wonderful thing with this smoky, this cloudy like effect, is you have some that are really deep in cloudiness, but then you have some that are much more transparent, just with a hint of that beautiful internal smoke-like effect. So these are your 3 strands. So let's reiterate. You have your coated chalcedony, your sodalite, and your cloudy quartz. You also have 1mm, 0.6 and 4mm, 10 metres of each in our turquoise coloured wire. Let's take a look at your web price on this today. £31.70. So our web price, that means that we've looked on our website and had a little look. If you were to buy all these individually, how much it would be. However, think of that DIGC51, that's your code on this today. Think of that as a bit of a discount code. Because we put these all together in a kit and we want to give you the opportunity to own them all at home so you can create these beautiful pieces, we're going to do it for you at a really wonderful price. It should be £31.70 today. However, because it's our Teresa Peas in a Pod designer inspiration, it's just £24.95 for you today. 3 strands, 3 of your wires in the coloured wire, which I know a lot of you at home really adore. There's so much you can do with it. And it's wonderful to mix them in with different colours as well. You'll be seeing soon how Teresa's worked these in with little bits of silver colours as well, which really makes the colour pop even more. It's £24.95 for you today. Should have been over £31. You've got this beautiful sodalite and those large dramatic strands of the chalcedony as well, just mixing it up, broken up in a way with the beautiful cloudy quartz as well. So you've got a real mixture in here today. Teresa, what did you think of this kit when you got it, when you first saw it?
Well, I think the first thing that kind of strikes you is the colour of the wire. It really is quite scary, well, quite in your face, it's quite bright. And then it was really sort of, okay, so how do we make the most of that, really? Yes. I didn't want to kind of hide it away. I really wanted to kind of make that colour kind of stand out. But the other thing, strangely, that I'd kind of noticed was the sodalite. It's the first time I've actually had any sodalite. I can't believe I've not had any before.
Really?
Yeah, and it is just absolutely lovely, and it's kind of the smallest stone in there, but it's absolutely gorgeous.
It is beautiful. You can see exactly what we mean about this wonderful wire pop, and all of the ones that you've created here, they're dramatic and dynamic, but they're very wearable, aren't they?
Yeah. I do try to kind of make the pieces as wearable as possible, really. So yeah.
And I love that you have created a peas in the pod for me. I'm so excited because upstairs I said, I wonder why this is called peas in a pod, what an unusual name. And you have, look at the bottom, you've created these beautiful little peas in this pod. So you've used a few different techniques throughout each of your 5 pieces that you've made from this, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's two main techniques in there, and I'm hoping to kind of get through both of those, but I did sort of think, actually, because one of them is what everybody will kind of know as the herringbone, the wire herringbone weave, but the ring is the only one that uses the standard herringbone weave. The others are actually double herringbone weaves.
Oh, brilliant! So you've changed it a little bit.
Yeah. So I'll show how to switch that up. But yeah.
So you probably have seen herringbone before if you've worked with macrame, but you're going to be doing a little bit of a different technique on that today. So that is absolutely wonderful. Now, which piece are we going to be looking at?
I think if we start with the main necklace, then the pendant sort of part of that, the actual peas in the pod kind of bit, and we'll see how far we get. Really.
Wonderful. So if we started with the peas in the pod,
yes.
Which pieces do we start with for this?
Well, to start with the main frame of the main kind of piece, we need the 1mm wire.
Yep.
2 longish pieces, about 30 centimetres, something like that. You probably won't use it all, but it's kind of handy for when you're kind of making the little sort of embellishments at the bottom. And then 1 piece slightly shorter, just because that's not getting folded over.
Okay.
So leave that one to one side.
So you've used quite a lot of your wire throughout these pieces. Did you have any of the wire left over?
I did. I've just broken into the 0.6 today for demonstration purposes, but that includes kind of me setting up bits and pieces as well. I've got loads and loads of the 1mm left, and a little bit of the 0.4 left, but that one is the one that's kind of done an awful lot of the wrapping, certainly for that main piece. So it's still doing quite well, actually.
But you have only used the 30 metres that you got in this pack to create all of these pieces. That's wonderful, isn't it? It does go a long way.
Yeah.
And you're getting 30 metres in this pack, 10 metres of each of the different gauges. So we'll start with the peas.
Yeah, so taking one of your longer bits of wire, all I want to do is make a little sort of circle, a little ring in the middle. I tend to use my bail making pliers just because it's always the same size then.
But you can use your round nose.
Yeah, you could kind of go lower down on your round nose pliers for that one. Take it into the middle, and then all I do, I've been trying to work out how to do this the best way. I've been messing about with this for quite some time, but is to take it all the way round, and actually you can sort of figure out if you are somewhere in the middle at that point. Cross it right the way over, like that, and then just take the nose out and get the round nose pliers. One side, all you need to do is kind of take it in sort of at the side of where the cross is, and then you can pull that one out, and then you just need to kind of estimate more or less where it would have been this side to take that one out, and then you've got enough space for the two wires to just kind of sit together there.
I can see, yeah.
So that's what I did twice over, not the other ones there.
So the first one you did was with the longer piece, wasn't it? That looked around 30 centimetres.
Yeah, this is the same again, so it's exactly the same, same piece
Length.
of wire, same length of wire, same technique. That's just a little bit further out than the other one. So there we go. And then this one's the one that's actually going to hold the stones.
Okay.
So
this is your shorter piece.
Yeah.
Still of the 1 mil.
Yeah.
But it's around 25 centimetres it looks.
Yeah, it probably doesn't need to be that much, but I always tend to work with slightly more.
Yeah.
Because basically this is also the base wire for the for all of the herringbone kind of bits as well.
I can see.
So you can use any offcuts then for that really.
Yep.
So I've got one of the cloudy quartz, which I can't find the whole of. There it is. One of the chalcedony and another of the cloudy quartz. What you find actually with the cloudy quartz, there are lighter ones and darker ones.
Yes.
So you can kind of pick if you want it to be a bit lighter or if you want it to be a little bit darker. And then this one's actually going to, well, the end of the wire is going to come out behind these two pieces, so we're going to kind of lay those on top. And then it all gets very messy for a little while
But then it comes together. Just want to let you know I have got quite a portion of my stock gone on this now. You've got those 3 strands with the blue chalcedony, with the sodalite and the cloudy quartz. You've got all of those goodies, including your 3 gauges of wire at 10 metres each. You're getting all of these goodies. It should have been over £31 today, but it is just £24.95. It's a little discount price for you today with these. So I have got a large portion of them gone at the moment. So please do get your hands on it as soon as you possibly can.
Now I'm just going to try and hold everything all together at the same time. Essentially this bit is the bit where you get yourself sorted out, so you're not having to kind of fight them. So all I've got is a little bit of the 0.4 and I'm wrapping it around the neck of those 2 pieces, and that's just going to hold that there. I find if you do one side of the wire and then the other side, and that is literally just a temporary piece, just to hold it in place. And then I want to do the same at the bottom. I did actually try this technique on, I think it was one of the challenges on one of the shows, and I figured out how to make it look neater than it was at that point in time. So it is actually all in fixing the bottom before you start. So I've got those 4 coming down, just kind of keep them sort of so you've got a nice kind of shape on them, and then you've got to decide really how long you want this to be and where you want them to cross. I'm going to take the back 2 just behind that one just for neatness. Okay, so you've got them all crossing somewhere, and then obviously you can just kind of push that up to wherever you want it. I'm going to push the beads up quite a long way. and then just whilst I kind of figure out everything else, I'm just going to give that a quick wrap there as well. That will sort of move up and down because of the tension of the wire is going to keep kind of pushing at it. But that's why I'm going to start the wraps sooner rather than later as well.
Okay.
So now we've got it caged in. The next stage really is to decide what you want to do with these frames, how much space you want the gemstones to be showing. The back ones, if I just kind of flip it over, can come quite a long way back to hold that nicely in at the back. And these I think are actually a little bit sort of closer in than that one are. So you can just kind of push them further out or further in, depending on where you want the wires to be. And then what I'm going to do, because the top is held quite nicely at the moment, the bottom one's kind of moving about, I'm going to start with the bottom. I won't use too much wire on that, she says. For each of these, I found that if you did like a full span and perhaps a little bit more, that got me the whole of the weave. You can add it in. I don't like to, but if it's a bit fiddly using that much wire, then don't worry about it. Just use smaller bits and add it in. It's not the end of the world.
So we're weaving with the 0.4 now, and this is to create the look at the back of the P, isn't it? To keep them all in place. But actually, I think it's really beautiful.
Yeah, I
It's
did
like
sort
that
of
as a piece, isn't
wonder
it?
if I should do one that's kind of full, and you could do it in exactly the same way, because I'll show you what I'm kind of starting with. You could just kind of carry on with that basically. So all I'm doing to start is I'm just going to pop this wire in on one of the back wires. Just
Pop your hands around here for me, is that all right? Beautiful.
Sorry. And then I'm just going. Sorry, I just need to anchor that on. So just wrap it around one of the frame wires a couple of times, just to get that anchored and going. Oh. There we go. And then the weave, actually I'm going to go the other way to the one I normally do. Where can we get to that one? Right. I'm going to go under both of the frame wire I'm on and the next one. So that's kind of around there. And then wrap around that frame wire, the second one.
So that's the first frame wire you went over, isn't it?
This is the one I've wrapped round. I've gone under this one, I've gone over and back under again. And then the next time you go under that one and the next one. And the first few wraps, all you're going to do is that all the way around. So you're onto this one now, take it through, sorry. Use my right hand, it might be a bit easier, mightn't it? I think I'm right-handed. Take it through that one. It's just going to be in the way. There we go. Keep it taut, and then I think that has just managed to flip itself around a bit. So this is the problem with this one. It's quite easy when you're holding it and not showing it to anybody, but I'm trying to show it to you.
Yeah, it's trickier. So you're going
around.
around two and then going back to the one, aren't you? And then round two.
Yes, yeah, basically. So each prong will have two wraps on it, and you'll be going underneath the next one. It might be an easier sort of way. I can kind of hold it and show you. So this is going underneath the two.
Can you just keep it towards the camera for us, Director Claire
yes,
saying?
I'm trying.
Do it as slow as you want, it's fine about the speed.
So I've gone under two, then we go just under that one. Sorry, I just can't see whether I've got that. There we go. Just under that one to wrap it round once, back over the top, under that one, and then the next one, which I can't see, so I'm just going to have to, it is moved around a bit. So it's under those two then, and back round again. And actually, if you just kind of go around once with all of those, I think back to the first one again, that will anchor that in. And just stop everything moving around, although it has all moved around whilst I've been trying to kind of show you. So I'll just sort that out and figure out which way my front and my backs are. this wire that you put on to start with,
the anchoring wire,
because I've been moving it around quite a bit, has loosened up, so you can also tighten that up a bit, and that'll help hold everything together. But these wires that you have now wrapped are kind of holding everything tightly, so this point isn't going to move anywhere now.
So the 0.4 that you've been weaving around, the base wires are holding it a bit steadier.
And then all you do is move back up to the top and do exactly the same thing again. So you're adding in the wire, just get that one anchored on properly. Oh,
So
I'm actually going the other way around on this one now.
You're
so
anchoring on
the right
to
way round.
one of the side pieces.
Actually, I have done that slightly wrong. It should be on one of the back wires, but it doesn't
So
matter.
anchor it onto the back if you can.
Yeah, I mean, you are kind of hiding that bit at the end anyway, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter too much. Because this is coming under that one already. We'll go under this one. Manage to kink the wire. And then round one. I knew this would be a bit of a pain to show you, but it's easier to do than I'm making it look, let's put it that way.
So if we perhaps number the wires, that will help a little bit. Okay, so where you're going to have the P's at the opening,
Yeah.
if we number those ones, say around, so the one you're weaving around now, that will be number 1.
Okay.
Yeah, and then so this one here, so if I show you, hang on, are these the P's that you're going to be showing?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the front.
So these are your front P's. You're never going to weave over these P's because you want those to be shown. So this wire here to the bottom will be number 1. As I spin it round, this one, the kind of spine really, isn't it? That'll be number 2. So this is your base, your spine. And then this one here will be your number 3. So, and then number 4. So you've got 1 and 4 to the front at all times.
Brilliant.
Beautiful.
Right, I shall go around once again and
brilliant.
try and count.
Yes, fab.
Right, so
Take as
we've
much time as you want on it, don't worry. Go nice and slowly.
It's all right. I just so want to show you the
We have got loads of time.
herringbone weave one.
We've got loads of time. We've got about 35 minutes. You're fine.
So we've gone round number 1 once, twice. This is now going under, so it actually needs to go under number 2 as well.
Yeah.
So just make sure
So that's number 2.
Kink. That's number 2. So we've gone round number 1 once, round number 1 and number 2.
Yeah.
Underneath number 1, number 2. Then we go round number 2 once. If I can get to the end of the wire. And then we can go round number 2, well, under number 2, under.
And under number 3, which is your spine piece, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you'll go under 1 singly, across to 2, underneath when you lead on to your 3.
I mean, basically, as I say, it's sort of it's a pain to try and describe. I think it's so much easier to do. You're wrapping right the way round one once. And then you're going round that one, round one once, that's the first one, and then round it again, but when you go under, you go under the next one as well.
I see.
And you just need to carry on doing that until you get to where the beads are.
So until you get to number 4, which is your final one on the top.
Yeah. Well, wherever it sort of starts kind of filling in, and you want to show the beads, obviously. Yeah. If you carry on with that, then yes, you will get a total kind of cage around all of the beads, which would be fine. You could do that. I will swap over because it might be easier as well to see it. See the weaves on one that is a little bit nearly completed. I'll kind of skip to the end, but I'll show you what I'm doing on this one.
Yeah.
And you can see where the weave's beginning to show there as well.
Yes, you can see that.
So on this one, you can decide which way you want to go, but I suggest instead of doing it like I've done and keep swapping around, that you just keep going the same direction.
Yeah.
So I've come under those 2. I'm going to go, take it this way, right the way round that one once. I might get rid of some of this excess wire. There's enough wire here to actually finish it, but I won't probably get that far. So we've gone right the way around it once, go over it and go under it again, and then to the next one. But instead of doing exactly the same as that, just cross them over as well. Just get that sorted out. There we go. Instead of carrying on with that now,
here you might be able to see a little bit better if you just pop your hands. That's it. So you'll see that we've gone through, this is number 3, so you've gone around that, and now as you've gone under it the second time, you loop to 4, don't you?
Yeah, so we're now at the front, but what we want to do is start going back round the back again, rather than coming over the front.
Yep.
And if you only do, so you definitely need those 2 wraps. Oh. But what you'll find, because basically for every single time you hit these 2, number 1 and number 4 wires, you're using and wrapping round number 2 and number 3 twice.
I see.
So as you can see here, this is now further up than this one, but you want it to be sort of fairly even going round. So if you do another couple of wraps on that one, you'll then get it to the point of being even again. And I strongly suggest with this wire that you don't kink it like I keep doing.
And what happens if you do kink it?
If you can straighten it out, I mean, as you can see with that, it's gotten to a tiny little sort of kink there. So if you unwind it the way it's kind of wound itself around, and then you can actually take your nylon jaw pliers and just kind of straighten it up again. With this wire, if you abuse it too much, the turquoise coating will come off. And what you're doing when it's kinking is sort of bashing that bit against the stones. And it weakens it to that point. It will break eventually, just because you're pulling on it quite a bit.
So it's just about taking your time with it, isn't it? Because I know when I'm working with 0.4, sometimes if I'm going too fast and not paying attention, it'll kink. But as soon as you catch the kink, if you sort it out, it's all right then, isn't it? Yeah,
it's kind of catch it earlier rather than later, really. Else you'll pay for it. So I've got those four wraps around that one now, and I'm going to go back again. But obviously, going this way, you're now going over. You want to be under the wires, number 3 wire. So you need to then just kind of thread it through that one.
Underneath again.
So you're going underneath, and then you can wrap round number 3, your usual 2 wraps. So that's the first one going round, and then the second one will pick up number 2 wire. And again, just making sure I don't kink that bit there. And then again, round that one once. And the second one, you pick up number 1 wire and you're back to the front. So you need to do those 4 wraps again. And you just carry on one side with that, get to the middle, do the other side with it.
I see, okay.
Because what I was trying to do before was start from beginning to end.
Yeah, I know.
And what you find is it's pulling into the kind of the thin bit. So these wraps are never as tight as the first wraps.
So just do it back on.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So once you've kind of finished that bit off, we can just pretend that one's kind of finished. Then what we've actually got is just a load of wires. It looks kind of like a squid, I think, at the moment.
It does look a bit
really
squiddy.
Yeah, I did wonder if I should be trying to make a squid at this particular point in time. But since I called it peas in a pod, I thought maybe we'll just carry on with that one.
Yeah.
So what we can do with the top piece now is if we just take this. I actually have another bit of spare wire from the other side of wrapping. Take that off. So we can take the
anchor,
the temporary wires off of there now. This is the start of the wire that I've started wrapping with. It is useful to kind of leave a bit of a tail. I'll show you why right now. And it's at the front, so I want it at the back. So we'll just thread it through the 2 eyes that we've got there. And then this one, all I'm going to do, and this is the end piece of the middle the middle that the beads
And
are on.
is that the shorter wire?
Yes, that's the shorter one. It's the only end we've got up at this side of the piece. So I'm going to take that and just kind of wrap it around that neck kind of area once. And then just really, it depends what you want to do, kind of detailing. All I did was kind of make a little bit of a coil on the wire with this, with the 0.4 that you've got left up there, the tail of the weaves that you were doing.
So you're keeping that coil nice and tight, aren't you?
Yeah, I do kind of.
It's nice and neat.
Having said that, I'm now running out of wire, so I've got no space left. If you can't kind of keep it tight when you're weaving it, just push it up when you're done. And if you do run out of the wire, you can use your pliers just to kind of keep pulling it.
Yeah.
And then all I'm going to do with that coil is take that round. I haven't quite got enough there, but we'll pretend.
You would have more though, anyway, wouldn't you?
Leave a bit of a tail, yeah. So you've got that kind of wrapped around, and then what I actually did was I went around again. If this piece of the bit that you're doing is really nice and you want to kind of show it off, then you can just take this back to the back of it. If it's not so neat or you don't like it like that, you can then just do a little coil there.
Spiral.
So that's what I did. Just kind of took a little bit of wire there, and just take the pliers in, coiled that
just
up a little bit.
creating a little coil.
Yeah, just for detail, and it's
the little detail that we have at the top, isn't it?
Yeah, entirely preference really as to what you want to do at the top. So that's all I've kind of done with the top piece on that one.
So we've done this,
which I think is slightly more coiled than that one.
It is. It's
tiny
nice.
Little coil on
That's
that
a little coil, but yours is larger there, isn't it?
So, and it depends how much space you've got, and say if there's something particularly you want to hide, you could put it to one side or another, or however you wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And then we've got the tentacles kind of bits to deal with. This is my wrapping wire, this is my spare bit of wrapping wire. My temporary wire comes off again. If I can find it. This has been travelling, so it's
hidden
a bit
itself.
messed up. Yeah, there we go. And again, it's entirely up to you then as to exactly what you want to do with all of these wires. So what I actually did was, funnily enough, the two at the back crossed over. And then just kind of took them up. So at the back side, you see that, they're kind of coming up and round. And because I wasn't quite sure whether I was going to leave them like that or not, I just kind of left them hanging for a minute. The front two of the frame, I then brought up kind of around those, just outside a little bit. And then kind of chopping that bit off, so I could then tuck this end into the space that I've kind of already made, really.
Just so that there's no sharpness.
Yeah. So this one needs to be sort of similar, and then all of that actually got fixed by the two here, that I then kind of took over again and tucked in, but you could kind of thread them through, and do whatever you wanted to whatever you wanted to do with those. So if I just kind of nip them off there and just tuck the ends in, just so that it's not, there's nothing there to worry about. You can make that tighter or looser, or however you want to do it. The front then has got a little bit, so I've made these a little bit looser than mine, just to kind of show the effect really. And then this is the one that I kind of do that spiral sort of rosette with.
So the base wire, the 1 mil that you have left.
Yeah, it's the one that was going through the stones, once again. So start a spiral with that from the big. Actually, it's probably easier to do it with your hands. I don't know if I'm going to do it backwards, be able to do it backwards, but so start a little spiral with that one. I can't, just a moment. Let me just get that started. Persuade it through. There we go.
Popping your head in.
Sure, everybody wants to see the back of my head. So yeah, so we've got that kind of starting to spiral round. You'll be able to kind of take it a little bit closer, a bit neater, and probably a bit tighter as well. And then we've got this wire that is, funnily enough, at the back. It's at the front when I want it to be at the back. It's at the back when I want it to be at the front.
But it's easy to just loop it through, isn't it? Which is good.
Just poke it through where it kind of where it will go really. And I'm going to take, actually that's all right there. Take it into kind of the centerpiece, so you're not sort of showing the outside sort of bit. And again, just kind of did that sort of spiraling round, just for detailing really.
Yeah. So you're just doing the little tight coil, as we did at the top for the spiral, onto the 1mm wire that went through the gemstones, isn't it?
Yeah, so just get a decent sort of length. You can do as much or as little as you like of that really. I was trying to kind of get it just to sort of take it around that that little loop that you've just made once really. Yes. So I'll leave it at that. I'll assume that it'll go and just chop it off there, just so I can I've got bits and pieces hanging around whilst I show you. So we've got the coils kind of here that I've just made. And the little sort of spiral I've started is there, and then you're just taking that that wire around again to show off the difference really. Beautiful. In textures, and you can take it around as many times as you like and wrap another loop round, or however you want to kind of do it. Take it sort of somewhere inside to finish it off, yeah. And then you can just kind of nip that off and make sure it's sort of going inwards rather than
wonderful.
Than out. And then that is actually the main piece.
That's beautiful. If you just show this to the camera, that's absolutely fab. It's really pretty little pea in the pod design. Now, if you want to get ready for showing us the herringbone, I just want to give people at home, we've got some new people watching today. Hello, new people watching. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. If you are new to jewellery making and you're looking at these pieces and things you've seen and think, oh, they're stunning, one of the things you are definitely going to need is a toolkit. We use the tools constantly with absolutely every type, pretty much, of design of jewellery that you decide to go into. You've seen today we've used the snips, we've used some round nose pliers, and you're going to get those in this. It is our Jewellery Maker toolkit. Now in here you've got your 3 different types of pliers, you've got a pair of your snips in the centre here, you've also got, of the pliers you have your round nose, your flat nose, and your cutters are here as well. And you've also got your tweezers, you've got a bead scoop. This is really handy if you have lots of little beads rolling around and you want to pop them back on or help them with anything. You've got your reamer and you've got your storage box. You get it all in this little pouch. Your price on this should be £9.95, but because we have got lots of newbies today, we're going to give you it at a discount price. You're getting 8 pieces in total. It's not £9.95. Even if you've got one, I know a lot of the time we use 2 pieces at the time, don't we? £6.95 for you today. Treat yourself to this now. Even if you do have a toolkit, we know that sometimes a lot of people will use 2 pliers at one time, won't they? Yeah. And so it really does help you out, especially if you're doing chainmail and you need the flat noses. You might want to get yourself 2. The storage boxes are ever so handy as well. £6.95. You got a saving on that today.
Right, herringbone. I'm going to try and show you both the standard and then the double herringbone.
Okay, we've got around 12 minutes.
Okay, so we shall do the single one fairly at pace because I think people do actually know. I've seen quite a few Wall of Fame entries with it on, but for those that haven't seen it before, I've got a long piece because it was kind of for the ring really of the 1mm wire, and this is the 0.6. Okay. We need a tiny little loop which you can make with the pliers, but if you have trouble with it, just take it around the wire and pull tight. Use your pliers if you need to, and try and keep it sort of square on, and that actually will give it the sort of the size you want. Then you can kind of just nick nip the tail off there, square it up, and you've got the right size loop for your wire.
I see.
You've got that at the end there. So I'm just going to pop that on to my wire, and one of the cloudy quartzes. And apologise, this is quite long, but we do use quite a bit. So then all you're doing is taking this one, the wrapping wire and the 0.6, around the bead. It starts off on the top and it finishes on the top as well. Wrap that around that wire right the way round, and then back again over the top and around. At that point, you can actually decide again how much of the stone you're showing, if you wanted it to be kind of further up or not. But then literally that's all you're doing with the herringbone weave over the top of it. Catch the wire that you're working with under the piece that you've already got. Take it round and over that next. Over the frame wire, base wire, and you just keep doing that. So I'm going to just kind of finish that sort of at some pace, and obviously you can, that's probably the easiest way, turn the piece rather than messing about with the long wire.
So basically, once you've got the gemstone there and you've done your circle of wire around it, each time you go halfway, you're just going to anchor it back on. You're taking it back round the base.
Yeah. So you
and then you're going underneath that each time. So if I can show maybe the finished product and I explain it just whilst you're whipping it away, but you can see how quickly it's done. So you'll be able to see on here that you've got this height to it, because each time you're going around and anchoring it on, you're going underneath each time. You're taking it, you're bringing it lower down, lower down. You're not going on top, you're not spiraling up, down each time to create this look. And you can see how quickly Teresa's doing it. It is one of those, once you get it.
Yeah, I mean, if you take your time, it ends up a little bit neater. But the good thing with doing it for a ring like that, and I have sort of, ended up crossing wires on this one, but once you kind of push it into the ring shape, it is actually settling itself in that shape. And then it is a classic kind of, I haven't got ring handle here, but it is kind of classic sort of fold it over, go kind of around and anchor it at those points.
That's beautiful.
So that's, a fairly standard ring.
Perfect.
But
it's a really wonderful final effect though, isn't it? So now you're going to show us the double, aren't you?
Yes. Yeah. Funnily enough, you start off with, lost a bead. Same 1 mil wire. You can tell I quite like the 1 mil,
though, isn't it?
Well, this is a really good base for this because it's strong enough that it's not kind of moving around too much. So got one of the beads on there, and funnily enough, with a double herringbone, you need 2 pieces of wire.
2 of your 0.6.
And if you put them on either side of the bead, but going the same way. This is how I tend to, it helps me remember it really.
You've created that little loop again, haven't you?
Yeah, created the loop on both ends, just the same as before. Now both of those are going over in that direction, and all you need to do is flip one of them round. So then...
So you want one kicking off
one way, one
east
the other.
And one west.
Yeah.
Just pop your hands up here for me.
This is now, the wire's coming over this way and it's actually coming under this way. Because this one's going to, the wire on my left is going to be wrapping the top piece of this, and the other one's going to be underneath.
I see.
So again, we start pretty much the same as we did before. That one goes around, carries on over the top, takes a full wrap round, but then switch to the other wire to go around, and actually that one's going to be underneath. I'll keep it where it is at the moment so you know I'm going underneath, but then that goes right the way round as well.
I see.
And what I would do obviously is flip it round so you can kind of see what you're doing. Then this one is coming round. Don't worry about this wire, they actually, the two are completely independent. The only reason you're doing it in the order you are is to keep the sort of steady progression of
Neat, I
the
see.
wires. So this one's coming around again over the top, wrapping around there, and then if we do turn it over, we can take this one around and over the top, and we've got 4 now, and you can actually see, if you can kind of come in on the close-up, the top wire and the bottom wire do actually work independently. So, sorry, am I?
Just pinch it towards that camera for me.
Yeah, so they're actually working independently of each other.
Just lift it up
Sorry.
like this. That's all right.
Oh, well, it was
Yeah.
there we go.
So you can see the
So
4.
that bit, as you can see, the bit that's sort of wider and
Yeah.
smaller, those two are
Perfect.
completely independent. They stop doing that once you kind of filled the wire in. So again, pretty much the same deal. Once again, take it under the wire you've already got, and then over the base wire. Take it a full wrap round, and then take the other wire. Do exactly the same.
So what you're doing is, once you've got a left, pop your hand here for me. Once you've got, say, the wires, you had them kicking out left and right to the main wire, didn't you? So once you've got your left wire, that'll go around the gemstone halfway, and then you wrap it onto your base wire. You then take the right halfway round, wrap it on your base wire, back to the left, halfway round.
Yeah.
I see.
And if you ever get kind of lost, you've got 2 wires at the same side as I've got here. It's the one that's closest to the stone that you need to work with. So I think all I did was kind of about 4 lots on each side, each wire. And nearly went against my own rule there and used the wrong wire. If you've got 2 that way, it doesn't matter which one you use actually. So that's number 3 and number 3 going around there. The top one, yeah. So we head to the 4s. And then what you'll see, I mean, it depends where you've started from as to how much space you've got. Just finish the, actually that is going to just about finish it anyway. But you can see you're kind of gradually filling in the sides.
Yeah.
So then all you need to do is kind of finish filling that in, really.
Yeah.
And once you have, and I think I did manage to get sort of four wraps and then 1 separate one, so you've got kind of 9, a nice sort of odd number, but I think that's about 8 wraps. Once you kind of finish that, just take it 1 or 2 times round the two ends,
Yeah.
just to anchor it, and then the actual wrap is done. You can just kind of take those ends off.
Those are 0.6.
That's your 0.6 done, and then just assuming that you're making a link with it, you're just chopping it off and then
A centimetre or so.
turning it into the link that you want to make. So that's that one.
And
It's
then
exactly
you just did a spiral at the bottom, didn't you?
well, these ones are for the sides of the main necklace. That pendant is exactly the same, but with one of the chalcedonies, so there are more wraps because it's a bigger bead.
Yeah.
And then the earrings, I actually thought I'll just see if it works or not.
So cute.
It's exactly the same
Love
technique,
those.
but it's using the 0.6 as the base wire and wrapping with 0.4, so it just makes it a lot diddier.
Dainty.
Yeah.
They are beautiful, absolutely wonderful. And have you got any, when you did this one, I've noticed you've used a slightly different technique just as you link on this bracelet. Just chat us through quickly how you did that one.
It is just a simple wrap loop on the links. It was the 0.6 wire. I just really wanted something to kind of space out the herringbone so they weren't too close together. But I just thought with it being a bracelet as well, it's probably better to have the wrap on it rather than just a normal loop that can kind of pull open.
I see, just to give it a little bit more. And the way that you've finished this one up is just you've made your own little hook and pin, haven't you?
Yeah. I think I did did do that on the main necklace as well. The main necklace doesn't have any findings in it, and then obviously a bit of chain and stuff with the others. Just a sort of hook and loop.
And on the back of your necklace, if I can just show you the back, we've done the little almost S-shaped chain you've made, haven't you?
Yeah. It seemed a shame to kind of cut a tiny bit of chain for each side for that one, so I thought I might as well just make some. So just little jump rings. I did use a few jump rings kind of in the pieces as well. Just made it with the 1mm wire, and then I just thought a little bit of a feature, bit of extra design really, just to have the little S links in between.
It's a little bit of a flourish, isn't it?
Yeah.
But again, it's so soft and simple to wear on the neck. They're all very, very wearable pieces, aren't they?
Yeah.
Which is, because they're quite lightweight, but they're so dramatic to look at. It's a really nice mix you've got in this set. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, all of those are quite sort of robustly put together as well, so you're not going to be worrying about them kind of pulling apart or, having to kind of look after the piece and not kind of bash it or hit it or
I know what you mean.
Any of those sorts of things.
Yeah, that's perfect. So we're coming back to you in about an hour or so, aren't we? And we've got some, how would you describe your next pieces?
Well, it's slightly more relaxed. I haven't got quite so much to get through, so hopefully that'll be quite handy. But there will be a bit of a hammer coming out as well. So I was thinking about kind of folded sort of stuff and flowing lines. So that's where it's sort of come from.
There's some beautiful textures in your next piece that you're really beautiful to look at.
And some lovely graduated rounds as well.
Which is useful.
Yes.
We love graduated rounds. Just want to let you know, I have still got some of the toolkit on offer. They are not £9.95 as they usually are. Today they are £6.95. Get your hands on them. You're getting all these goodies you can see on screen now. Lots of people are taking advantage and buying double of this because they are so handy to have. You do need them. And also it's great because you can, if you're getting yourself two, you can have one for at home, one for your travels, can't you? Very helpful. Just going to reiterate exactly what we're getting in this kit that you've seen the beautiful Teresa make these stunning pieces with. You've got your 3 gemstones. You have with a centre P of the pea in the pod, and this one was your colour coated chalcedony. You also have the ones that have been done on the wrap pins. These ones are going very much up the neckline. This is your sodalite. And then we have the little peas in the pod, and also the centre to the rings that we've seen make, and these are your cloudy quartz. As well as that, you have the 3 gauges of wire. You've got your 0.1, which was used as the base wire in majority of these pieces, haven't we? Your 0.1. You've also got your 0.6, which we saw you use on the tailbone for the herringbone, sorry, for the larger pieces. And you've also got your 0.4, which we used on the pea in the pod for the wrapping. So you'll get all of these goodies today. Your price on these were £24.95. The code on it is at the bottom of your screen. It's DIGC51 for your peas in a pod designer inspiration today. It's a wonderful amount of colours, isn't it, in there?
Yeah.
It's really beautiful. And as well as that, you have, because you've got the amount of gemstones in here, I presume you had a fair few left.
Oh yeah, I've got, well, I don't know if I can actually pick it up. They'll all fall off, probably. No anything else that are going for me today. Yeah, I've got, 7 of the chalcedonies left there.
Yeah.
A good portion of the cloudy quartz and loads of the sodalite. I didn't pick it up, they're going to all fall apart.
So you could easily make another, with the gemstones you've got, you've got enough to do.
And that includes all the kind of pieces that I've been putting together to stage it as well. So there's, there's more than just is on the display there.
Got absolutely plenty there then. So just want to let you know that you can text in if you have any questions for Teresa. 60777 JM Studio is how you'll start your text off. Any questions you might have about wirework, or what other areas have you delved into with your jewellery making?
Well, I've played on air. I've played a bit with shrink plastic and jewel enamels. What else have I done? I quite like sort of quirky sort of crossovers, I suppose, with other crafting.
That's good.
So I've been playing quite a bit with the foils and that sort of stuff as well. So hopefully I'll be able to kind of show you some of that at some point in the future.
Fab. So if you do have any questions to do with any of those things that Teresa's just mentioned, she will be able to help you out. You can text in. Alternatively, go onto our website. Really simply, when you click onto our website, which is JewelleryMaker.com, you will see next to the TV screen, you will see a little box that says send a message to the studio. If you type your message in there, it will wing its way to us really, really quickly. Now, I've got some real treats for the second hour, Teresa.
Excellent.
Real treats. Kumihimo. I've got a Kumihimo matrix box, which is just, there's an absolute wealth in there, but also it is Kumihimo, but it does have beautiful charms in there too. I've got loads of wire in there. I've got wire gizmo should be coming up in that time as well. Gemstones galore. It's your one-stop shop for all of your goodies that you might like from us. We'll then after that be coming back to Teresa for her folding textured designs. Best description. I might give a sneaky peek, you know, of one of your pieces.
Oh, go on.
I'm going to. I might sneak peek. No, I'll sneak peek this one. Sneaky peek. This is just one of the things. Sneaky peek. These are the types of things we're going to be looking at later on. You can see the beautiful, the texturing, you've flattened, hammered this out, haven't you?
Yeah.
We are going to have a cracking deal on also the hammer as well as the block. We're going to do you a wonderful deal on that. Little sneaky peek, I thought that'd be nice. So that's coming up for you. And then in our final hour, we've got TikTok last in stock, which means that we're going to have 50 or less of everything, but there are some truly stunning gemstones in that time. I've got some wonderful star buys, including my amazing moulding compound. We will be having our inspiration flowing everywhere with that later on, so that's coming up for you really, really soon. We'll come to you really soon. Excellent. We might even set you a challenge.
Brilliant.
We'll see. Join us after this very short break for your one-stop shop. Great deals, great inspiration, all after this very short break.
There are 2 easy ways to purchase from Jewellery Maker. You can watch our show on Sky, Virgin, Freeview or FreeSat and call our free phone number where you'll be put through to our friendly help team who can place your order. Alternatively, you can go to our website and click the sign up button. Once you have filled in the required details, you can start shopping. You can watch the show by clicking the On Air Now button on the front page. You can also use our quick search tool and narrow down your results. Once you have found an item that you like, you simply click on the Buy Now button and the item will be added to your basket. Don't forget that you can add as many items to your basket per day for only 1 P&P. Enjoy shopping with Jewellery Maker.
If for any reason you're not satisfied, you have the benefit of our no-quibble 30-day money-back guarantee. Just complete the returns form enclosed with your goods and send them back for a full refund.
Our standard delivery is now only £2.95 per day, regardless of how many pieces of jewellery are added to your order. Delivery takes between 4 to 6 working days, and if you want your jewellery quicker, simply speak to our call centre about our premium delivery service.
When you place your first order with us, you will receive a free booklet and DVD full of handy hints, tips and tutorials to help you get started with your new Jewellery Maker hobby.
If you have a question or query for Jewellery Maker, then you can contact our call centre on 0800 644 655 and press option 2, or alternatively you can email help@jewellerymaker.com. You can watch Jewellery Maker live every day from 9 till 1 on Sky 655, Virgin 756, FreeSat 807 and now Freeview Channel 30.
Welcome back to Jewellery Maker. Thank you very much for joining me this afternoon. My name is Becky and our designer with all the inspiration today is the wonderful Teresa.
Hiya.
Teresa, I've got a treat for you. I've got a challenge.
Oh yeah.
Plenty of gemstones. Now what we do sometimes is we will set our guest designers a challenge around about this time every day, and that means that they have around an hour and half to create as many beautiful pieces or just one standout piece that they want to create. They will use their challenge that we've given them, which in this case is our challenge matrix box of gemstones, and then they're allowed to use any bits and bobs in the cupboards behind them, any wire, any findings that they might have. So this is the selection, the box that we're going to give to Teresa for her challenge. The only thing is I've got less than 50 of this in stock at the moment. So once I show you all of these and your code is up, please do treat yourself to this matrix collection. 1,400 carats worth of these beautiful gemstones you'll be getting in the medium nuggets. I'll show you some of these. You've got in here 20 pots in total of your different gemstones. You've got in here, there's 20 pots, but you'll have double of everything. So you'll see that you've got 2 amethyst. You've also got your aquamarine. You've got your rose quartz, twice again. Red garnet. You've got your green aventurine. You've got your clear quartz. Sky blue apatite. Your citrine and your lemon quartz. Oh, and there's another one, smoky quartz. Smoky quartz here as well. So you'll see that you're getting 10 different gemstones, 20 pots in total. I'll get some of these in total for you. The amethyst, I absolutely adore the bright apatite. I've got some, the citrine in this is so poppy. When we're looking for citrine, of course beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but we very much like to look for the really bright poppy tones, and you've got some real whiskey, zesty tones in you. See, slippery. Look at the honey tones that you're getting on this beautiful gemstone. I don't know why I can't pick this one up. Oh, right, I'm going to try a different one. See, this one's playing. You see this beautiful, like, honey tone that you've got throughout each of these. It's really nice and bright, zesty. As well as that, look at this. There's real pops of colour in here. All of them that I can see, not all of them that I can see appear to be centre drilled. All of these ones certainly are. It's a really sky blue that you're getting with this apatite. It's just beautiful. As well as that, you've got plenty of amethyst. And honestly, look at the size of some of these amethysts. This one I would guess is around 15 mil. It's huge size. Beautiful aubergine deep amethyst you're getting in here. Now let's have a little look at your web price. Don't forget, in total this is 1,400 carats. It's a whopping amount. Your web price is £19.95 on these. However, we're going to give you, because it's a challenge, we like to give you a bit of a cheeky price. So we're going to give you a cheeky discount on this today. It's not £19.95. Your price is going to be just... Ooh, good idea. £16.95. That means you've got a £3 saving, which is perfect. Because if you haven't yet opened up your basket, this is your chance to do so. Because essentially, with the money we've given you off, you've got the price of your postage and packaging back. This is a basket opener for you today. It is your multi-gemstone, beautiful matrix box, 20 pots, 10 different gemstones, 1,400 carats worth of gemstones at just £16.95. Now, Teresa, you're excited about using this, aren't you?
I am.
What is it about it that you like the look of?
Well, I quite like the sort of slightly larger nuggets. I quite like the chips, but I just think once you've kind of got that sort of irregular shape but a bit larger, you can start kind of exploring different things with them. So I haven't got a clue what I'm going to do with them yet, but My brain's just sort of started ticking over, I think. So
you have a little closer look at them and something might spark from you, mightn't it? So this is a whopping carat weight, 1,400, and it's just £16.95 to you. Teresa, I will give this to you now. Excellent. You are allowed to use any of the goodies in the background that you wish to use with this.
Brilliant.
When you're looking at them, what are you thinking of the colours? Are you going to work together, mix?
I quite like putting unusual colours together, or things that you wouldn't necessarily think of together. So I really want to just kind of get them out and just see what sort of takes my eye, I suppose, really, and see what I can kind of come up with, just see if there's something a bit unusual I might be able to put together that you wouldn't normally.
Wonderful, perfect. We're excited to come and see that. We'll be heading over to have a little look at the beautiful pieces she'll create, probably around 4:45ish. Now, this is our one-stop shop. We are here to give you and offer to you some really good price deals, but also a great mixture of things. Starting off with our Kumihimo DVD. Now, Kumihimo DVDs are around an hour long, and you get taught on this how to use the round disc, how to do a square disc pattern. You also get shown on this one, which is really exciting, how to add on gemstones and also do your zigzag technique. There is 6 projects in total on this DVD, and you'll be able to see the types of goodies that you'll show how to make on this. This is your caged beads with the Kumihimo. You get shown all of this in your beautiful DVD projects. So your price on the Kumihimo DVD today, £4.95. You're getting an hour worth of goodies, and it's brilliant because you can watch time and time again. Maybe you've been thinking about starting off something. Maybe you've been thinking about something that you want to give a new go. It's a New Year's resolution, test something new out. Well, this is your perfect way to start, especially as I've got something else coming up, Kumihimo, for you. In fact, I have a couple of things for you coming up in Kumihimo. It's a mini Kumihimo section we'll be looking at in this. So get this now, and then we'll be giving you the opportunity in our one-stop shop to get yourself all the other bits and bobs you'll need to get yourself on your Kumihimo journey. £4.95 for you today on that DVD. Now, to do your Kumihimo, you're going to need this. You're going to need the disc. Now, your Kumihimo disc is so simple to use. If you haven't worked with it before, it's got a little bit of foaminess to it. It's got your little slits in at the top where you can pop in your organza cord or whatever cord you're working with. And then the piece itself works its way through the center. So if I show you this example that I have here, this is with the organza ribbon. As you're working it through, you'll see this basis section, which is where the actual weave comes together. This is the portion that comes through the center of your disc. And then at the top of your disc where the little slits are, this is where you put all of these beautiful organza pieces. And really simply, you just follow a pattern. There's loads and loads of interesting ideas online, also on our website that you can take a little look at. And of course on our DVD, giving you step-by-step instructions on how to create beautiful pieces such as this. And it's a wonderful effect because as you can see all these truly stunning colours that we've got working through the piece. It's super festival, really beautiful. Take a look at this before. Take a little look at this, give yourself some ideas, and then you'll be having some wonderful inspiration from the DVD. But you do need your Kumihimo mini disc. Let's take a little look at the price on this today. £3.95 to get yourself started off with a brand new hobby. I know that some people, in fact, have a fair few Kumihimo discs. I've been Kumihimoing for many, many, many years. It's a really simple trick to take up, and this is your smaller disc, which means it's really portable. It does the same as your large disc, but it's just a little bit more portable. I've been doing Kumihimo for many, many years, and it's one of those things that I have a couple of these because sometimes I'll start one off and then maybe I want to do something a little bit different in a different colourway, so I'll start that off on another one. You can have as many as you want of these at £3.95. It's something that's so usable, so portable, and it's just a really fun technique to use. This can be used. I was a charity manager for many, many years, and we used to work with young carers, and we did with them on evenings. We would do sort of respite and care we offered them, and we used to do Kumihimo projects with them. And in the project we are working with 6 to 18-year-olds, and even 6-year-olds can do this. And they enjoy it because you can see instantly it coming out. There's no findings to worry about with this. It's instant gratification, which is perfect for kids especially. So it really is something that everyone can get involved with for just £3.95 today. Get your hands on our mini Kumihimo disc. Now I've just shown you the beautiful piece here that we've had created, and this is with our beautiful organza cord. So we're going to give you the chance to own this organza cord right now. You're going to be getting in here plenty of different colours. You've got the same length of each. We've got in here your whites, your salmon, beautiful golden colour, your aquatones, your sky blues, your tan, maroon, periwinkle, tan, and this really poppy, beautiful yellow, which I just need to show. How stunning this poppy yellow is. Daffodil yellow, it's so bright. The lovely thing with when you're working with this in Kumihimo, when it's nice and tight, you get, it's more of a matte appearance, but as it's left out at the sides, you get this gorgeous glowing sheen across the surface. 10 colours in total, 100 metres all in all, meaning that you're getting 10 metres of each. Let's take a look at your web price today. £6.95 for 100 metres worth of these wonderful colour ranges, wonderful colour palette. That is your web price today. But because we want to give you the chance to get your hands on all things Kumihimo for the first section of this afternoon, we're going to do you a cheeky deal. It's not £6.95. We're going to crash that price for you today. 100 metres of multicolour organza for just £4.95 is all you're going to pay today to create this beautiful piece. And the thing is, it goes really, really far. If you look at the Kumihimo itself, if I'm having a look at this, to use this, of course, Kumihimo, as you're working it, it gets tighter, but it also drags out a little bit. So I would guess that you've used around, well, no more than 2 metres on this at all, possibly 1.5 metres, and that is it. And you've got 100 metres worth in here. A lovely thing with doing it with the Kumihimo is it's so light and wearable, and you'll be able to see in this one, as the basis, the main structure that we've Kumihimo'd, you see it's got that matte-like effect, hasn't it? Just with little glittery sparkles because of the beautiful organza cord. This with a really heavy drop pendant would be absolutely stunning. So that is all yours today for just £4.95. Now, we've given you your DVD, your disc and your organza, but you're going to need to finish it off, aren't you? This has only ever been on air with Jewellery Maker once before. Let me open this box up for you. This is all of the good stuff you're going to get inside it. You can see here you've got chain, you've got shepherd's hooks, you've got your charms, and of course this is Kumihimo, so you have got the cap ends for this too. But because you have got such a mix on there, you don't necessarily have to just use it for Kumihimo. To show you the box as it comes, again it's a 20 pot matrix box that you've got in here. You'll see all of the goodies you've got. I'll show you some of them separately. 530 pieces you have in total. So kumihimo wise, you have the cap ends, you have the ability to add your charms in with these goodies. You've got your end caps as well. You have some that are really specific to kumihimo, but you do have others that can be used across the whole variety. So if I show you here, of course, these ones very much kumihimo. To string these on, perfect for adding on your charms and your drops. You've also got your cap ends. Now these ends themselves you've got in a real mixture of sizes, which is perfect depending on the amount of organza cord, organza ribbon you use. Of course, the thicker or thinner your cord and your final piece will be. So these cap ends that you're getting in 3 different sizes, you're getting 2 pairs of each. They're going to be wonderful to adding into your designs and just really giving them professional finish. As well as that, you have these cord caps. These really simply, you'll use them, crimp them down, and then you can add on your clasp. So as I said though, you've got this which is very kumihimo, but you're also getting in here other goodies such as these shepherd hooks. Absolutely plenty of shepherd hooks you're getting in here with this beautiful gizmoing effect. You've got plenty in here, including as well a length of chain, all in this gorgeous gold colour. So in here completely, you're going to be getting your twisted toggle clasps. You've also got your crimps. As well as that, you're getting your puffy hearts, your marquise shapes you're getting in here also. You've got some of the flower charms, the half moon charms. You've got, as I went through then, all your kumihimo ends and your caps. You've got also your lobster claw clasps, which are so helpful to use in this. The hanging connectors themselves, it's great. You're going to be getting 3 of those in total within this pack. If I show you as well, I absolutely adore these little toggle clasps. These are your twisted toggle clasps. You're getting a few of these, and they're extended. You've got 3 extenders on them. If I show you this against my hand, you'll be able to see exactly. You get 1 T-bar, and then you get the 3 clasp ends. Of course, you don't need to use all 3. You could, if you wanted to, inlay a picture in there. You could just use it as a chain connector as itself. It's up to you what you do with these completely. And you've got the beautiful charms too. The charms themselves, you've got some puffy charms, but you also have some flattened charms. So if I'll show you some of these, they are, this one that I've got here is almost your flower / star flattened charm. Each of them have this beautiful texturing, and they all do have the eye hole, which is just where my pincers are at the moment. As well as it, you've got the hearts, you've got some moon, half moon shapes, your crescent shapes in here too that you have, each one with a little bit of detail on them. You've got jump rings too. You've also got different style of shepherd hooks. These are almost your S-shape shepherd hooks, and these ones, I've got to admit, are quite chunky. Much chunkier, these ones. You're getting loads of these as well, a fair few pairs of these. So you're getting 530 pieces within this matrix collection. Let's take a look at the price today. £24.95, that's all you're going to be paying for this. And if I just count out even your shepherd hooks, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 shepherd hooks in each pot. You've got 2 different types of the shepherd hooks in here. So you've got an absolute wealth of pairs to be made on these, and all of that is just £24.95. You've got your bolt ring clasps as well. Oh, and I love these. These are your S-shaped clasps. Take a look at these ones. These are really chunky. These are absolutely beautiful. These are perfect for people with dexterity problems. You don't have to worry about holding the clasp open. You'll see that really simply, that's just a clasp, you can unloop it. Really simple to use, but they're really chunky. I would even say wireness thickness wise, they look around a 1.5, so they're really thick. You've got the beautiful textures on here, including, you'll get plenty of these as well, absolute wealth of these. Jam-packed amount of these. With your faceted, textured beaders as well. real mix for you in here. It's a total mix bag, not just for Kumihimo, but for so much more. All of this, 530 pieces, is £24.95. And don't forget, you get the storage box as well, which you can keep, top up, fill in with all your other spare gemstones. Great storage box for all your findings too. So, we've done a real mix, a beautiful amount of your Kumihimo. Let's have a little look at some gemstones now. Where are we going to? Over here. These are beautiful. These are your white coloured chalcedony in these lovely flat back nugget shapes. Take a look at these, 200 carats worth of this today. They're a large size, 14 by 20 all the way to 24 by 16 mil, and it's a 22 centimetre strand on these medium graduated pieces. Now, what would you think of doing with these ones, do you think, Teresa?
I don't know, some of the bigger ones are large enough to kind of start wire wrapping or play with probably a little bit more with wire weaving and that kind of stuff. And I think it's a neutral enough colour to be able to kind of put with anything really. But it's got a lovely kind of, it's almost a glow actually on it, hasn't it?
It has. It's almost an opalescence type, you know, when you get that look. It is almost, it's beautiful.
Yeah, so I think I'd be a bit torn really with kind of wrapping them with wire or wanting to kind of keep them and showing off the stones probably.
But you've got enough on here to have a go at both, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah. And they go with anything. As I'm just trying to think, you know, what they'd be perfect with, and it's just that they go with
everything.
Yeah.
Well, it's always great to have that in a strand, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, let's take a little look at your price on these. £12.95 is your current web price on these, but it's our one-stop shop. We've not got that many of these, so let's take the price down a little bit for you. And when I say a little bit, I don't really mean a little bit at all. £7.95, that's all you're going to be paying for this day. £5 saving on this beautiful white chalcedony, and as we said, it has got this glowing, like lustery effect to it. £7.95, £5 saving on this for you today. Do not miss out on this. Get yourself on those phone lines now, 0800 644 655, to make sure you do not miss out on these goodies today. We're doing our back in stock now, right with this beautiful star by. Now, people were asking about these. The last time we had them in was months ago, wasn't it? October is the last time we had these in, and we just couldn't get our hands on anymore. And now we've managed to just secure some extra few in stock. We've managed to get a little delivery through of these. These are your star by today. They are your 925 sterling silver earring posts with your butterfly bags. 10 pairs you're going to be getting in total. So you'll see you've got the ball at the top here, and then you have your little eye pin at the base so that you can strand on your drops if you so choose. The butterfly backs themselves have got this lovely little teddy-like effect to them, which is so cute. And you've look at the little teddy bear. Can you see them? How cute. They've got the little teddy bear effect on them, and these are your large butterfly backs. Now you'll see how large they are. They're much larger than the usual ones that we might have, the loop in them themselves. These ones are secure lock because you've got the butterfly back. Even if you do have a quite bejeweled heavy piece, these ones really do securely lock in. In fact, you can hear it snap when it locks into place. This is 925 sterling silver, 10 pairs of these in total. Let's take a look at your price on your star by today. £14.95 is the price it should usually be. However, it's our star buy, so we're going to do a cheeky deal. It's 925 sterling silver. We're talking about seriously high quality here. 10 pairs. £9.95. That's working out at just under £1 a pair. For 925, genuine 925 sterling silver. Think about if you were going to buy just a 925 sterling silver stud with the back. Imagine you were going to go buy that. I've seen those in shops for £6, £7, even more than that each per pair. £1 a pair you're getting on this, and you've got that eye pin, which means that you can drop on, you can create all your beautiful pieces. If you've got your high-end gemstones, you're going to want to get the high-end earring posts, aren't you? To give it that final and professional look, to really give it something to be proud of. You have got 10 pairs in here, and at that price, it's a truly multi-buy deal. I do not blame you at all if you are multi-buying on these, because they're absolutely wonderful. 925 sterling silver, 10 pieces in total, 20 pieces in total, 10 pairs altogether. It's £9.95. It should have been more like 15, and considering we haven't had these in stock, that's an absolutely stunning price also. The thing I would say is that I haven't got that many of these in stock right now, because people have been multi-buying, and also it's a really popular item, so it is flying out. Lots of people online, you have it in your basket, but you haven't checked out. I have a queue of people on the phone. We can see in the gallery, we can see all the people who are on the phone who has it in their basket. We can see there's about, how many people with it in their basket? About 10, just over 10 with it in their basket, but we have a queue of people on the phones. And the thing is, if you're not checking out, someone can take that from your basket. If we end up getting into low figures, someone can take it out. Check out as many times as you want throughout the day. You don't get charged extra postage and packaging at all. It's one payment of postage and packaging, £2.95 until midnight tonight. So do check out. That's your only way of guaranteeing you're going to get all of your goodies. £9.95 for these 10 pairs today. What would you think of doing with these, Teresa?
I don't know. They're so lovely. It's a shame you kind of can't show off the little teddy bears, really.
I'm sure you could. You could wear them backwards. You could. You could wear these backwards.
Yeah, I mean, I know just kind of standard posts with the butterfly backs I've had with me on the stall when I've been doing craft stalls, because all of my displayed earrings are on hooks, and I have actually been asked to switch them. I have switched earrings for the posts. I prefer them actually, just because they're a little bit more secure than the hooks are. Yeah. So I can perfectly see where people kind of get to with that. But yeah, it's just a lovely little design feature as well. Be really nice for then kind of little, well, young girls' jewellery.
You know, you were saying about wouldn't it be nice if you could see the teddy bear? Well, look, you can. And I've given him a little nose. Look. See, I've put it backwards. You could wear it like this. How cute. They are good as well, because it's 925. You don't have to worry about people with allergies as much, do you? Because they're 925, there's no problem there if people have sensitive ears, which is wonderful, especially if you have got a stall or if you're going to be giving them to gifts. Yeah. People feel a bit safer and a bit more encouraged. Do you think that too? Yeah, yeah. And obviously it's always nice to be able to say it's sterling silver rather than silver plated. It's just, you know, it's a lovely little extra to be able to say that. Okay. Now, I need to let you know at home that there is a group of people on the phone trying to get these. Now, we will answer your phone call in order. If you're not checking out, please do so now, because there is a group of people waiting for those. Stay exactly where you are, because if you hang up now and then you try and get them later on, we may not have any left. So please stay exactly where you are on the phone lines. We will be with you answered in order. 10 pairs, discount deal for you today, just £9.95 today. Let's get back to our one-stop shop and bring you some eye pins. So you've got your 925 star by the backs that you had, and now we're bringing you your 925 really long 40mm eye pins. So you're going to be getting 20 of these in total. Now these are your 40mm. The reason it's wonderful to have such a long 925 drop is the fact that you can of course strand on many gemstones onto this, but also if you wish to, once you have stranded maybe one gemstone on there, you can use the extra to create a spiral, create a wrapped look around your piece. These are great to add to resin too. You can pop these in, because it's 925, you can also bake these. So you can pop them into your polymer and bake these in the oven along with that too. It's 925, so it is really malleable. If you are interested in work hardening these, you can really simply do that by taking a pair of pliers, 2 pairs of pliers, holding them and giving it a twist. That will work harden these if you are worried about the 925. You've got so many of these and the length on them. Think of the chandelier effect you could drape with these, and because you have got so many too, you could do almost a waterfall effect with these, graduating the sizes and the length. Any spares that you do have, any little bits you have left over, do not throw them away. You can add them to so many goodies, including your jewel enamel or your resin. Also you can drop these into there. Use them as rosary links if you want to make a gemstone chain. Add these onto your rosary links. You've got a really wonderful gemstone chain, especially if you're working with high end. That's what you're going to want to get your hands on. So 20 of these in total. They're really versatile, really usable. Let's take a look at your price today. £4.95. That is all you're going to pay. So if you bought those earrings, and they were £9.95, weren't they? And these are £4.95. That's 10 pairs of earrings. Take away your gemstone at, well, what price is that? It's like £1.50 each for a pair of earrings with the drop. Yeah, you've got to add on your gemstones, but for sterling silver, you've got the base of your whole pair of earrings for about £1.50 per pair. That's so special, isn't it? Get your hands on this now. It's £4.95 for all of these 925 extra length 40mm eye pins today. I love 925 sterling silver because it is malleable, but as I said earlier, you can work hard on it. So you've got kind of the best of both worlds with the silver, and also because it is 925, you don't have to worry about the coating coming off or any of the scratching. It just doesn't happen with this, so it's a real treat to get those on for you. What are we having a look at now? Some wire. Got some wire coming off for you in a moment. I've got for you now these center drilled drops. This is a really neutral tones, very earthy colours we've got in this crackled agate. 170 carats worth we have of these faceted pairs. These are 16 by 12 mil. If you are a little bit worried about using colour, perhaps you're the type of lady who likes to rock around in your LBD all the time, a little black dress, and maybe you're a little bit worried about adding colour. This is a great way to add subtlety but a pop to your pieces. 170 carats worth we've got here, and you've got some burnt umbers, you've got some grassy greens, you've got purple lilac tones running through this strand as well. In total, you've got plenty on here. It's your crackled agate, so you've got the strength in here, but you've also got the multicolour, which is just adding a little something extra. Let's take a look at your price on this today. £6.95 is all you're going to be paying for this wonderful strand of gemstone. The great thing with these, perfect for your earrings, you know, you've got all these 925 and you've got your drops. These are perfect because of the way these are drilled. They're not top drilled, they're drilled through the centre, which means you just drop through your head pin, loop it onto your earring post, and you've got a pair of earrings there. because of the way it's drilled, you don't have to mess around with bending up your wire, changing the way it looks. The drops are done for you here perfectly because of their drill hole. This strand is yours for just £6.95 today. I told you I had the wire coming up. Oh no, there we go. No, this one works better. This works perfectly with this strand. This lovely chartreuse wire. I've got this coming up for you right now. So you wire your chartreuse wire that we're working with here. It's your 1 mil, so it's structural. Oh, this would be perfect for doing your peas in the pod, Teresa, with this beautiful green colour, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So this is 100 metres of your 1 mil, and it is in this lovely chartreuse light green colour. Now 1 mil, it's structural. It's really usable because you can hammer it. Don't forget, I've got great deals coming up with your hammer and your block coming up later on. It is structural, it's a very dynamic colour. The wonderful thing with this is if you haven't worked with a lot of coloured wires before, because perhaps you're a little bit worried about the types of looks you can create with it, the great thing with this as a base wire is if you are going to be weaving over it in, say, your more standard silver tones, it will give you just a pop of colour without being over the top in your face. What do you like to use 1 mil for, Teresa?
I use 1 mil all the time. It really is kind of, well, base wire for anything that I'm doing wire wrapping. I do an awful lot of wire wrapping, and as you can see from the pieces, if you've got a different colour that you're wrapping with, to leave some of the core wire bare, you've then got the 2 wires together. I also make my own jump rings and do chainmail and that kind of thing, so all of the coloured 1 mils are really great for that sort of thing.
Adds a real fun look to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
You saw I had Debbie on the other day doing the first in our year-long specials of chainmail, and she worked with 1 mil to create her jump rings. So you can get your hands on this now, and you can then start using the beautiful colours within your chainmail. Let's take a look at your price on this, shall we? Should be £27.95 because you've got 100 metres of this here, and also it's your thicker gauge, your 1 mil. But we're going to do a little cheeky deal in our one-stop shop. The sale is on in our one-stop shop today, so let's take a look at your price. £21.95. That's all you're going to be paying for 100 metres. We know you want to get your hands on these beautiful colours, especially coming into spring. The wonderful green tones that you have running through here. Imagine this creating almost leaf-like effects and then little buds worth of gemstones with this. It'd be beautiful. £21.95. That's all you're going to be paying for a whacking 100 metres worth of your 1 mil wire today. I've got for you now your clam shells. Now it's 925 sterling silver. Take a little look at this for me. Oh, I'm going to cough. Now these are your 925 sterling silver clam shell ellens. So as you can see here, I picked up a closed one. Oh no, I haven't. You can see just there. See the clam shells open itself just there near my pincers. And really simply, this is kind of a finishing touch to your designs. All you have to do with these is pop it over your crimp bead, close it shut, and it gives you a real finishing effect. A bit like a crimp bead cover, but it's actually saving you a job, because you've already got the little eye pin hole in there, so you don't then have to add on a jump ring, it's already there. It's a great way too of adding charms onto your pieces. If you want to do a bracelet that perhaps it hasn't got chain as the basis, you can use this, simply crimp them along and use it as your drops to add charms on. Now in here you're going to be getting 50 pieces in this. It's 925, so it's got this beautiful high sheen, high shine silver tone. If you haven't worked with 925 before, because perhaps you're a little bit worried because it has got such a wonderful name to it, you don't have to be today because the price on this is wonderful. Let's take a look at it. £7.95. It's professional level of silver because it's 925, but it's also a professional finish that it's actually going to be adding to your pieces. I know a lot of people absolutely love these. If you've worked before with a crimp bead and a crimp bead cover, and then you've had to add on your lobster claw clasp or your jump ring, etc., give these a go because they're less time consuming. You don't have to add anything extra on because it's already got your hole there. It's really simple to use. Do give them a try because it's £7.95 and honestly it makes life much easier, which is perfect with jewellery making. Anything that can save us a little bit of time can be wonderful at sometimes, and that's exactly what these do. Now I've got some lovely little flowers for you here now. Now, did you see that lovely necklace that they had on this morning? They were working with the wonderful flower shapes, weren't they? They had the lace agate, didn't they? We've got some lovely 5-petaled flowers here for you. It is your black veined rhodolite. Now you've got in here this lovely pink base tone, almost a salmon-y tone in some of these, and then you have this veining through each of them, almost a spider webbing effect on some, and then you also have, you'll be able to see these very light saffron tones that you have. True mixture on these. You've got 270 carats worth in total of your black veined rhodolite. These are your 5-petal flowers and they are 15 by 14 mil. They've got the soft puffy size you'll be able to see, and you're getting a massive amount on here. Also interesting to point out, have you seen the spacers? I don't think I've seen these spacers before. You see the little clear beads? They look like clear quartz and they're rounded. Don't forget, keep everything that you get on these strands because they really are usable. Now, the name rhodolite comes from the Greek word rhoda, which means rose because of the colour. And you're getting the flower effect in the shape of these as well. So it's a beautiful double whammy of flower on this strand. Let's take a look at your price for this beautiful rhodolite today. £6.95, that's all you're going to be paying today. £6.95, beautiful for wire wrapping because you can anchor the wire in between the petals due to the shape on this. Perfect for a wire wrap ring. Absolutely perfect size for a ring, perfect size. And you can use, you see where the little slits of the petals are, that can be used really simply to anchor your wire. These with beading thread as well, you could create some really nice swirls and twists with the beading thread. Really simply, you know, ribbon that you sometimes have on your Christmas presents, and you get your scissors and go zip, and then it all coils up. You can do that with beading thread, and I love the idea of using your beading thread with these, almost creating these vine-like bush effects around it. Perfect size for a ring, isn't it? Absolutely perfect. Oh, get the pink wire out with it. Wire wrap pink with this beautiful rhodolite as a ring. Oh, this is 1 mil, so you can completely make beautiful rings with this. I'll do that pink one now, shall I? So 100 meters worth again. It is your 1 mil. Great for the wire wrapping ring. Lovely for structural. If you liked earlier on, you know I gave you a little sneaky peeky of Teresa's necklace that we're going to have in her designer inspiration in around 15 minutes. Well, I showed you that, didn't I, and how she'd hammered that to flatten it and give it a really beautiful effect. Imagine doing that in a different colourway with this pink. Really good idea that, isn't it? Let's take a look at your price on this today. £19.95 for 100 metres of this beautiful pink. It's girly, it's quaint, it's cute, and it's just £19.95 today. If you're looking at this and thinking, oh, that is a little bit bright, a little bit loud, mix it with some of your more neutral tones and it truly does change the look of it completely. Mixture of this with antique bronze just to tone it down, but you can go mad with it. Add to the pop, get some of your neon apatite that we had, that sky blue apatite we had on earlier on. With this, wow, that would be an impact, wouldn't it? £19.95 for 100 metres on this today. Now, I had some eye pins on for you earlier in the 925. I've got 925 again, but this is plated with 7 carats worth of gold. And these are your head pins. They're 40mm again, like the eye pins, which means you've got plenty of space to do your wrapping if you so choose. And you've got the little ball detail on the end there, something that just gives you a really beautiful finish on your pieces. Now if I show you how we'll strand these onto something, because they're extenders, because they're so long, I'll show you on this gemstone, this shell that I have here. This is what I mean when I say it gives it a professional finish. Can you see at the bottom here, you've got that beautiful little detailing of the drop. Imagine that on a pair of earrings. You don't have to do a loop that sometimes it can look a bit messy, especially if you're new to jewellery making. Really simply, you'll loop it on like this. And also then, you can drop on, you've got plenty of space to drop on extra gemstones, as you can see on this. 20 of these in total you're going to be getting in the 7 carat plated 925 sterling silver. Let's take a look at your price today for 20 pieces. £6.95. Again, work them into your earrings. You've got 10 pence worth there for £6.95. That's all you're going to be paying today. This gold will work really beautifully with my smoky quartz. I adore this strand. I love faceted coins because they're really so workable. If you haven't made jewellery before, or perhaps you've only used rounds before, this is a nice way to add a little bit of something different to your pieces with the coins, but they're still so workable. Look at the seductive sparkle on these beautiful smoky quartz. 120 carats, let's take a look at your price. £7.45 for these. Look at the length of it. This is such a lengthy strand. 10mm puffy faceted coins today. £7.45, a beautiful amount of smokiness. Let's carry on this seductive sparkle and go for my very exciting star buy. I am so excited to bring this to you. We've been rifling around in the office, upstairs, down here in all the boxes, because this is such an exciting star buy. It doesn't look like much, I grant you, but the possibilities with this are endless. This is your RTV moulding compound. You also get a glove with this. I wonder if that's what, oh, I found it. You get a pair of gloves with this as well. Now, if you're not sure what this is, very simply, you have a scoop with your blue and you'll have a scoop that's plain white. The scoop with the blue, you'll use with the blue. The scoop with the white, you use with the white. Exact amount of quantity of each, so a full scoop of one and a full scoop of the other. What'll happen then is you'll get this mixture. You'll see a lot of the blue and it will kind of be veined in with the white. What you do with your gloves on is work that together into, make it really malleable. It's almost like working with polymer clay. Work that in together until the blue is almost a milky blue tone and there's none of that white veining through anymore. What you have once you've done that is almost a polymer clay textured piece, flatten it out, and you can create your very own mould. It can be anything. What about getting a child to do their fingerprint in it, and then you have basis there to create a beautiful silver clay fingerprint? What about making, if you've got a gemstone that you really like the shape of, like this little bunny rabbit, what about creating your very own polymer clay bunny rabbit? But you can do it time and time again. How about doing with this little, for example, star shape? Say you've got a star shape. What you could do with this is have that as your little logo, or maybe even create your own logo. Maybe if you've got a couple of different shapes that you want to work in together, you can then use that time and time again, that same mold for years and years and years, add that onto your own little piece, almost as your little trademark stamp, almost as your little team logo, as it were. Think about Chanel, you know, the two C's opposite each other. You could create something like that with it. You can even do with this little shell that I showed you earlier on. If you did this as a stamp and stamped it in, what you could do then is in this stamp shape work your own polymer with multitude of colours, and then you can drop any gemstones you want in here, but you can do it so much. You have that piece forever then. Another great one. What about to create your own cabochons? Get your own cabochon shapes in, and then you can do it with your silver clay, with your polymer. You can do it with so much, and then Kirsty's favourite, you can soutache them, wire wrap them. Whatever you make with this, you have to keep forever, and you've got 200 grams worth of this in total. You could, if you wanted, have, if you have maybe a button or a bead or a vintage clasp that you managed to get your hands on, you found it somewhere crazy, you managed to find a beautiful vintage button that has a really ornate design figurine on it, stamp that, and then in with this mould, you've got that forever to recreate time and time again, adding different colours to it, adding different pieces. Textured sheets is another thing you can do with this absolutely beautifully. Simply add it together and roll it out so it's nice, flat and even. And then maybe if you do cookery and baking, you can get rollers that are textured, can't you, to add into your icing. You could do it with that so that you have a piece there to add on, like we have on the show, our own textured sheet. You can create your very own. Maybe you could do a wire wrap weave and then just really gently push that into it, and you've got your own textured sheet there again, made up completely unique to you. Honestly, this is so usable. Let's take a little look at your price on this today for 200 grams. £34.95. Think of the amount of beautiful moulds that you can make of this that you have to keep forever. You never ever have to buy another mould or textured sheet. You can create your own with this. Sometimes we'll do pairs of, say, textured sheets. I think they're around £10, aren't they? But you could make with this your own ones that no one else can ever get their hand on because you've completely created it yourself. And you could make possibly even 4 or 5 of the textured sheets with this. If you wanted to do little fingerprint ones, you could make so many. Imagine if you've got vintage buttons. You could make so many vintage button moulds and then layer up the vintage button effect. It's such a wonderful, creative idea. Anything that your heart desires, anything you could possibly think you could do with a mould, you can make your very own with this 200 grams worth of this wonderful stuff you have here to play with and enjoy. It comes with an instruction manual as well, so it's really simple step by step to follow. All of this for just £34.95. And we know as being creatives, I know what I'm like, sometimes I like to perhaps create something that I think no one else will even has ever done anything that looks anything like this. I like things to be unique. I like pieces to be for me and for my customers. And I think that's what creative people at home love about jewellery making. With this, perfect for creating something that no one else has got. Great for your card making. If you've got card making stamps, absolutely perfect for using those, making a mold out of that. This can be used in so many of your mediums. Get your hands on it today. It's just £34.95. If you haven't worked with it before, give it a go today, because this is so easy, so much fun, and can be completely unique to each and every one of you out there. Create your own perfect stamping pieces, textures mats, cabochon sets, anything you want today for just £34.95. Treat yourself to this today. Now, after my short break, I'm going to be coming back for our designer inspiration with Teresa. We'll be having a little look at her beautiful folding, textured wirework pieces. Join us after this break for designer inspiration and, of course, our final hour of discount deals. I'll see you after this.
Join Jewellery Maker and specialist guest designer Louise Jacobson for our basic wirework course. This class is suitable for complete beginners who wish to learn simple wire wrapping techniques to create stunning structural designs. Louise will teach you all the essential skills to get started, including basic spirals, double connectors, and much, much more. The full course includes a range of different wire gauges, a bead scoop, use of all relevant tools, a buffet-style lunch and refreshments, a tour of the studios, a chance to meet the presenters, and a visit to our Gemstone Museum. All of this for just £69.95. For more information, contact our call centre on 0800 644 655. Jewellery Maker, bringing out the designer in you.
Today I've been on the Wirework for Beginners course and it's been really helpful to me. I've bought wire and I bought tools and not really had the confidence to use it because I'd feel like I was wasting it. So to come along and be shown exactly what to do and have one-to-one tuition has been brilliant for me, and it's really given me the confidence to go ahead with my jewellery making now.
Jewellery Maker course gift vouchers are now available. You can choose from a bronze, silver or gold voucher. Each voucher is worth a different amount that entitles you to put towards a course of your choice. For more information, contact our call centre on 0800 644 655.
Welcome to Designer Inspirations. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. My name is Becky and our designer with the inspiration is Teresa. Teresa, how's your challenge going?
All right, actually. I've got a bracelet and I've just started designing a necklace. So, yep.
Beautiful. We'll be having a little look at those goodies in our final hour, so probably around an hour and 45 minutes we'll be having a little look at those. Now we're going to be going over to the wonderful Teresa for this designer inspiration section, but of course you're going to want to own the kit, so I've got that for you here. Wire wise, you've got the chunky ones. You've got copper coloured 1.5mm wire. You've also got your dainty, total polar opposites really, 0.4mm in the copper colour as well. As well as that, you've got 3 strands of the beautiful carnelian. You have in here 270 carats of the carnelian plain rounds. These are 10mm. You've also got 150 carats of the plain rounds in the 8mm. and 75 carats of your faceted rounds in the 6mm. Now carnelian of course is part of the chalcedony family, and the name itself comes from the word, the Latin word meaning fleshy, which is exactly what you can see with these tones. You've got this fleshy orange tones coming into each of these. Now, it's a really interesting gemstone, I've got to admit, carnelian, because over the years and over the centuries, it's really had different meanings along with it. A lot of gemstones, they keep their meanings from when they're first discovered, when it comes to healing and what people believe, myths and lore. But carnelian's a bit of a chameleon when it comes to the stories, because it changes very much over the hundreds and hundreds of years what the meaning of this has been. Now in the Egyptian times, we found a lot of tombs, mummies buried with this, because they believed that it would protect the soul in the afterlife. So around those times it was very much a protection gemstone. Coming more recent times, around the 1700s, they were believing that it was a good luck stone, very much as you might think of a aventurine now as a good luck stone. It believed that this was a talisman for good luck, that it would bring you prosperity. And then as the 1800s came along, they believed that it was great to encourage your speech. They said that in the 1800s, all the lords and the people in high places who had to do great speeches in front of huge crowds of people, they were told to carry a piece of this in their pocket. And they did truly believe in that time, that in the 1800s, that this would give you the power and the strength and the courage to deliver a speech in front of all of these people. In recent times, it's got sort of a mixture of all of them. Depending on different places you look, you have very much different themes that run through the healing properties of this gemstone. But it really is safe to say that as gemstones go, this has got a really illustrious background when it comes to people's belief in this stone. Now in here you've got 3 beautiful strands of the carnelian, not only the really workable 8mm and 6mm, but also the faceted ones in this the 6mm, which are just a beautiful little twinkling there that you're getting from the surface of these. You've got your burnt umbers, your saffron, your whiskey tones in here. You've also got your milky, cloudy light colours in here, which is just adding a little something, and that is really highlighted by the colour of your wire. The copper colouring of this wire is just adding a little bit of depth to these pieces. So it's your 0.4 and your 1.5 mil. 1.5 is the most structural one we do. This is a relatively new gauge of wire that we're bringing to you. It's your 1.5, it's the thickest, the sturdiest we do. Let's take a look at your web price. So it's £32.25, of course. You've got 3 strands of the stunning carnelian. You've also got your 0.4, but you've also got your 1.5 mil wire, this structural, sturdy beauty. But this is designer inspiration. This is your kit for this next hour. So we like to give you a great price so that you can get your hands on it. We're doing you a bundle offer today. FRGC79 is your code. The price £32.25 is the price that it was. You know what happens when that happens, do you know? You might not know. £32.25 was the price, and then we rolled it down, the price came in again. The only way that we can fix it is by taking an extra £1 off. So this is now your price. Kirsty doesn't even want to change it. £20.95. Kirsty's not very happy with that at all. That's over £10 saving. Way over £10 you're getting off this. You're essentially saving a third in this price. £20.95 is the price we had to go to because the little nasty gremlins were in our IT area then. You have to take an extra £1 off. So it's not £32.95 today. It's not even 21. It's £20.95. Over £11 saving you've made on this today. Get your hands on this now. Do treat yourself to this now. I've not got that many of this in stock, so please do. I am in double figures for this kit, which isn't particularly where we love to be, but we just want to offer you this. It's such a beautiful, beautiful kit, and it's a stunning price. And trust me, when you see all the other pieces that the beautiful Teresa has made, you'll be really impressed. Do take advantage of that price, not just saying it. That is over £11 saving on this kit today. Teresa, what do you think of that price?
Oh, I'm a bit upset now because I think this is the sort of kit that I would get. I'd probably pay that actually just for the carnelian because it is absolutely lovely.
It is beautiful, isn't it?
And yeah, then the wire is just kind of an added bonus. Yeah, it's just gorgeous.
And you've created 4 pieces from this. Can I just ask you, how much would you perhaps sell one of your necklaces for that you've made here?
Well, I think I got something similar made with my first kind of concept was 1mm wire. And I just thought it might be nice just to see it a bit more substantial. Yeah. I think that was about £22. I was it was actually kind of the double sort of piece that I've got on the chain there. Yeah, so it was £22 that I was charging for that one.
So this necklace, you sold it?
I haven't sold it yet. No,
you haven't sold it yet.
No,
but that's the price
I think
you're
I like
going
it too
for.
much.
You like it too much. But you've sold just this one necklace. You've got it on sale at the moment. This one necklace at £22. So that's just for one. And of course, you've managed to make 4 pieces, and you had a bit left as well, didn't you?
Oh, I've got loads and loads of wire left, loads and loads of gemstones left. So yeah, you could make that over again. Probably several times actually.
So this piece we're going to show you to make, this one piece, you could sell it and get your money back, and then you've got all the other goodies. It's pure profit, isn't it?
Yeah.
And an £11 saving today, it's the chance to get your hands on it. From one piece you could sell it at more than the cost of the whole kit. So this is a big, big money maker for you at home. This kit could definitely just shoot you up in the profit pocket margins, couldn't it? Which is always handy, especially in January. So you're going to be showing us this piece today. Whereabouts are we going to be starting on this?
Right, well I thought I'd show you well basically the basic techniques, but I'm going to go through that first necklace with the 2 pieces. Want to show you kind of forming the wire, and then a little bit about kind of designing out with the gemstones as well, really.
I see.
And obviously all of the others. That was kind of what I'd first done,
Yeah.
And then all the others were really kind of, well, what if I did a small piece for the earrings? What if I did a larger piece?
Play.
Yeah, so
like that.
yeah, it was just a play on the same techniques, really.
Wonderful. So you're starting with your 0.5.
The 1.5.
1.5, sorry.
Yes, yeah. And actually, if anybody's not had the 1.5, if they worked with the 1mm before now, yes, it is thicker, it is a bit stiffer, but it's surprising how soft it still is. It isn't something that you're having to kind of really fight with at all. So don't feel intimidated.
Don't be worried.
So I've got a piece. I have cut it off the reel. All of the pieces I just made from the reel. So we'll see how far this actually goes.
We'll see.
I think it's going to be more than enough.
You've probably got about 50 centimetres
yeah,
there.
it's going to be more than enough for a piece. But I say if you just leave it on the reel, then you're not wasting anything. But I just thought that given the issues I'm having with wire today, it's not very useful when everything's wire, really, is it? I thought I'll save myself the trouble of having the real issues as well. So starting off with the sort of the smaller piece of the two kind of elements that are articulated on that one. I want a very little, a little-ish loop to start with, and actually I'm using my bail making pliers primarily for the larger wraps. If you've got something else you could kind of wrap round, pens, that sort of stuff, it will work. It's just an awful lot easier when you've got the bail making ones, the 6-step ones. So I'm going to start off I think I'll go with the second one, a little-ish loop, and just kind of take that around, and then just going to make the wire go where I want it to sort of go to. So that's just going to be to catch it in. To start with the actual where I'm putting the gemstones, I'm going to go with the smaller of the two base ones, and again that's just going in a little bit further down and around. And actually what you can do with this is kind of start off and then see what it looks like if you want to kind of move them a bit. I think that might be a little bit low, so I'm just going to go in and bend that one a little bit further again. Then I want a slightly larger loop, so I'm going with the larger one. Now actually this one's going to hold one of the smallest, it's a 6mm. The next one's going to be the 8mm. So I'm going to go in again, and this is going to be far too far up, so actually what you need to do is hold this one and pull it around.
Oh, that's a good tip actually.
And all I'm doing each time is kind of getting the wire so it's sort of back close to the next one. Again, that might be where you want it. You might want it a bit higher up, a bit lower down, just adjust it
as you like it.
Now obviously the next loop, I want the largest gemstone, the 10 mils in, and this is going to hold an 8 really nicely. It's not going to hold a 10 really nicely, and I've just run out of sizes on here. So again, you could get something bigger to do it with. I just kind of start off with what would be an 8 one. And then,
but you don't pull it as tight.
So that's not as tight at the moment. I'm going to go in again. Doesn't really matter which side I'm in, but a little bit further over. Pull that out a little bit actually, and then pull that around. And what you can do as you're making is check with one of your stones that it will fit in that space. It does need a little bit of room. That's the 10mm. Sorry, my fingers are completely in the way, but yeah, that's the 10mm.
Okay.
So that's going to be absolutely fine for that one. I think I might put another 10mm on this. That might be a little bit low. Just adjust that up slightly. So exactly the same again. This side, we'll just pull that round to where I want it. And what you might find, I'm trying desperately to do, this one has done it, that it's not quite a sort of, sorry that's a bit high up, it's not quite a rounded, sort of, it's off to one side.
Yes, I see.
So what you can do again, just open it out a little bit and keep sort of putting in the pliers and just sort of keep easing it round until you've got the shape you want really. There's no right or wrong with this. It's entirely up to you in terms of what shapes you're looking for, and in terms of where this is going and what shape you want. So last one, I'm going to go with a small one again, which probably means that's going to be slightly high up, go a little bit lower. Then we're on the small one again, and this one's going to be over here.
If you've got a ring mandrel, could you do this around that as well?
Yeah, you might be able to if you kind of I haven't got one here to be able to kind of test how small the ends are, but yeah, the larger ones should definitely be able to do it.
If you don't have the bail makers.
Yeah, I mean I did sort of think about the jig as well.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
But yeah, I think possibly actually the middle-sized bits of that would kind of work with those very well actually.
Brilliant.
Which I thought about that. I could have done that.
It's nice to show you different techniques though that do the same job, just depends on what you have at home and what you feel comfortable working with.
Yeah. And then that's my 5 that I want on this particular piece. So I just want another loop, and so we'll go in again with these. And as you can see, of that, this is now finished. Of that 50 centimetres, I've got well over 20 actually still left. It's the smaller of the pieces, So yeah, so you can kind of see how much that's used, about what, 25-30 centimetres basically.
Brilliant.
I've crossed this right the way over,
Yeah.
so this would still be on the reel for me, and then I can go in, figure out where it's kind of hitting that wire, and chop that bit off. I'm going to chop it a little bit short, I think, and then wind that around, just so I can get it nice and close in. So go in then and just close that up. And then that is the basic shape that you're looking for. I tend to try and make them touch at this stage. When you're hammering it, it's going to pull them out anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So that's where I've gotten to with that, and then we need to start hammering that basic shape. Actually, you don't need to. You could leave it at that and go on to the third stage and have rounded wire. I just kind of conceived of it being kind of flat, so and it's a good excuse to get the hammer out and
why not
hit something.
Well, I might do the same actually. I'm going to bring you the hammer with the block now. This is your chasing hammer. You're going to see exactly how to use this in a moment. It's really simple to use. Do not think for a second that you can just pop to the garage and grab out of your toolkit a hammer. It will not work. It will weaken, break, dent your wire, which is the last thing you want when you've spent so much time creating this beautiful piece. So this is your chasing wire. Side perfect for flattening, perfect for texturing. It's got a long extendable hand. It's a wooden handle, which means you get no reverb from the steel block. This is your steel block, and it's an offer that we're doing on the 2 of these today. The reason we use a steel block is, of course, you're protecting your table, but also it's due to the fact that because of the strength behind it, it does part of the work for you. If you were working this into a piece of wood, it wouldn't give you the same impact back, would it? Very much with this, what you put in with the hammer, you get back with the steel block. We're going to do you an offer on these 2 today. They're coming as a bundle to you. Let's take a look at your price. £8.95, that's all you're going to be paying for the both. For your chasing hammer and your steel block, it's less than a tenner, £8.95, and it really does create an effect that you can't recreate in another way.
No.
You really can't. The amount, the look that you're going to get with this, you need your hammer and your blocks to do it, don't you? To get the perfect look, exactly what you're going for. £8.95, that's all you're going to be paying today. We're going to see exactly how we use this now, so don't be afraid. Get it in your baskets, check it out now, and Teresa will show us exactly how to use this in a moment. These 2 today, £8.95 for you. Okay, so let's get hammering.
Yeah, I mean, I should just say, whilst I'm using it to flatten now, if you hit it and don't hit your wire too hard, it won't flatten it so much. I use it a lot when I'm making those little hooks for the clasps.
Yeah.
Really to strengthen it a little bit more. So it's got
really
loads and loads of uses. But I thought I'd just go completely all out this time and flatten and
do it.
Texture and everything.
Love it.
So we've made the piece. I know because of the way I've kind of designed it that this way is up.
Yeah.
This is the front face that I want. So I'm going to turn it over to hammer on the back.
Okay.
I still haven't, maybe I'm just not a great hammerer. I haven't managed to hammer a piece without it kind of marking.
Okay.
There's a sneaky little way of kind of covering it up with this one anyway, if you wanted to sort of have both sides not too dissimilar.
Yeah.
So I've just kind of got to the point where it's like, don't worry about it.
No. It adds to it, doesn't it? Especially the vintagey type feel.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you try not to hit the same place exactly the same over and over and over, obviously you won't kind of hit the mark in the same place over and over.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much as far as I get to. And the other thing to say, whilst it's really quite malleable, the 1.5 wire, it does seem to take a little bit more hitting to flatten it out, but you've got more scope with that as well.
Of course.
So I'm gonna, we'll see where this one gets to.
So this is on the back.
Yeah, I did have a bit of a play. We're on the back, so all I'm going to do to start with is give it a hammer to flatten it out a little bit. I'm going to hold it over here. I'm sure you shouldn't do. One of these days I'm going to catch my finger, but we'll go for it.
How much pressure are you putting on that?
Not a lot, actually. I think there might be a bit of a lesson in this, in warming the wire up or being somewhere a bit warmer, because it's cold where I hammer at home, and it was taking an awful lot more to hammer that out than it is in the studio. So maybe I should turn the heating off when I'm hammering.
Turn the heating off at your house when you're hammering.
Or maybe just, you know, have the wire in your hands a little bit beforehand, just to make sure it's all right. Now I've kind of hammered over that and it's a little bit flat at the moment. What you can do, if you're probably better at hammering than me, is actually work on certain areas of it to flatten those out a little bit more. So I might just give the edges a little bit of an extra tap and just see if I can kind of squash them a bit more. Because what I really like with hammering, and as I say I'm still kind of fairly new to it, is that kind of change of textures. Actually the pendant, I did try sort of hammering in different ways. I think there's a flat bit, there's a textured bit, and then there's no hammering on it. I did try this and I just, I think it was too small a bit of the pendant, but so that's where I've gotten to, and as you can see there are a fair number of marks on the wire. But I mean, actually it's fairly evenly distributed, so that's all right. But what I'm going to do is turn the hammer around and use the ball side of it, just to go over that and really make it look like I'm supposed to have all of those marks in there, because I'm adding a few more. If you are nervous about where you're hammering, I'm sure some people are freaking out where my fingers are, you can leave it, but obviously it does tend to move around. You're sort of chasing it around the block, but just hold it carefully, so kind of at the end.
Just do small areas
at a time. Don't do what I do. So it's kind of the basic lesson of that one. So that's your back, and it looks okay, and we don't need to worry about that too much. And then your front is quite smooth at the moment. You can leave it like that. Or you can hammer it and texture
show us the difference
as well.
Between the back and the front. That's the front there.
That's the front.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to kind of catch the light on it a little bit. There we go.
There you go. Isn't that? I love the texturing.
Yeah, I like the textured look, and I think that was kind of where I was going. I think I will leave this. I'm just trying to work out which side this is. Yeah, that one's textured, my other half's textured. I'll leave this one flat, and then you can actually kind of see the difference as I sort of go through it. I'm probably not going to get to.
So you're placing it back into shape now, aren't you?
Yeah, now I'm just going to sort of, I mean obviously it's stronger now because you've hit it, it's less malleable, but it is still enough, you know, malleable enough to be able to kind of push it and just get those points so they're kind of, they're hitting together, just get that on the camera. I just want to kind of make sure, just when I find one that isn't, there we go, just so wherever the two wires kind of meet, they are actually touching, because that's where I'm going to wrap it.
I see.
In a bit.
Perfect.
And there's that one as well. And that's your hammered wire. It is a little bit kind of bowed, and I quite like it like that, so I'm going to leave that. If you wanted it flat, then just kind of go over it again until it's flat. Or you can, with your fingers or with your pliers, just kind of flatten it out if you're not having much joy with a hammer. Sometimes there just seems to be, you try and flatten it and you just end up kind of curving it somewhere else.
Yeah, I see.
So it's just not worth
take your time, isn't it? Take your time over it.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with hammers, is don't be intimidated by it, and take your time with it till it gets to where you want it to.
And at that price, you don't need to be intimidated at all. £8.95. You've seen exactly how easy it is to use. It's your hammer and your steel block. And if you haven't opened your basket yet, do for this, because the weight of this alone, it costs you around £6 in postage and packaging. So you don't have to worry, even if you're only getting this today, it's a bit of a treat. Yeah. £8.95, and it's only £2.95 postage and packaging until midnight tonight. seen how easy it is, and the effect you get is beautiful as well. So you're bringing along the one you made earlier, larger section too.
Yes, yeah, and you can actually see the difference as well. I've hammered this a little bit more. It's a little bit flatter and a little bit kind of wider. So it depends on what you want. What sort of effect you want to have on it. Now I've picked out some of the great thing with these carnelians is the range of colours that you've got in there.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got, you know, from the really, really deep to the white, really, which gives a load of scope then for deciding what you want to do in terms of the design. And my only kind of theory is trying not to get the same colour sort of next to each other. Obviously we've got some spaces that we made for the large ones and so on and so forth. So what I'm probably going to do is I did pick out these, so I wasn't chasing around the white one I wanted. Just picked out a selection earlier on, and I'm probably going to go with a large one there and there, and then probably there too.
Just working it out by eye, what's fitting in what space nicely.
Yeah. I mean, it is a case of just kind of play with them a little bit. I did do them by size actually. So start with the small ones or the large ones, doesn't really matter. The spaces that you've left, just kind of put them in where you want them. That does sort of mean I probably need that one there.
Now your graphics are coming back on screen for this beautiful gemstone kit. You've got 10 metres of your 1.5, 10 metres of your 0.4, and you've got those 3 strands of the beautiful carnelian, 10mm, 8mm and 6mm, faceted 6mm, the other 2 plain rounds. You had over £11 saving on this today. It's a true treat. It should have been over £32, £11 saving today, £20.95.
Now having said that, I'm started sort of trying to change it up a little bit again. As you can see, those 2 are fairly similar colours, so I'm just going to put another one in there. And I missed one. What colour shall we go with that one? Oh. Start throwing carnelians around the studio. There we go. So that's really what I've kind of designed out. The only problem with this is I'll move the frame now and they'll go all over
roll
the place.
everywhere.
One little useful tip, I haven't got anything to put it onto.
Hammer on your blocks at the bottom of your screen now.
Is to take some beading thread or some of your wire, and then say I'm going to do, well, I'll do the one that I kind of started. I'm going to do this one. I know those 3 want to be in that order, so I'm just going to thread those on my wire and actually then put it down in that order. And try to remember to pick it back up again in that order and not flip it over and so on and so
drop
forth.
them.
I'll leave this one to the side. If you do need to pick up the other great thing with this, right? Because it's the 1.5 wire, the plastic cages round it. This is pulled out a little bit more than normal because there's so much wire on that reel. So it's a little bit bigger than the one that's on the 0.4. Which means the 2 fit in together quite well, which means you can put it around.
That is one of the best things I have ever heard. I love these kooky little tips. That's brilliant.
I just thought, what have I got? I've got them, quick, put it on there.
So then
I mean,
you
obviously
just lift
here,
it off and it's there.
Yeah, here we're flat, so that's all right.
Perfect.
But if you happen to be on a bit of a slope, then they're not kind of rolling on the floor, and then you're
clever.
Spending all your jewellery making time hunting beads, which is not very
great
much
tip.
fun.
Thank you, Teresa.
I always, I find these weird sort of things.
I like that. I like the strange tricks that you like.
So what I'm going to take now is just a little bit of the 0.4, as much as you want to work with. It depends where you decide to put the beads as to what you want to do with it. Oh, that's the other thing I haven't kind of said. Obviously, you can put the beads kind of close to this edge, or you can put them close to the centre.
I see.
Now I think for these 3, because I want to put a dangle on the centre one, I'm going to have that in the centre. If you've got them alternating, this works really well. If you haven't, you'll just have to chop it off and start again.
Do again.
No problem whatsoever anyway. So I'm going to start right at the edge here, and I'm just going to put 3 wraps that you can see on the front on here. So I'm just going to go over with the tail and hold that I do seem to like wrapping wire on TV, don't I? Do it to myself every time. So we've got 2 going around there. So they're not very close together at the moment. It doesn't matter. And then your 3rd one, actually didn't need to go underneath there, did I? 3rd one can go over the top because that's where the bead's going to be.
Yeah.
I'm just going to push those together now so that it's a little bit neater, and you can pull it tight later on, so don't worry about it moving around at the moment. So that's where that is.
Yeah.
Then I'll put my first bead on, which was, I believe, this one.
It was. Good memory.
I did actually end up redoing the brooch because I managed to get them the wrong way round.
Oh no.
I thought, how on earth did I obviously just wasn't looking at the colours when I was doing it either. So I've put that bead on, and then this wire is going to wrap round. I'm just going to hold where that is. This piece, and because there's no other wraps on it at the moment, you can actually just go round quite easily. And what you'll see, 3 more wraps again. That one's going to go right the way round. But what you'll see is I've got the wraps that I've done this side have come up. Then I've gone through the bead and now I'm going back down again. So the wraps are the same side on this one. It's really a design feature, so you could do what you wanted to do. Then I want 3 wraps around holding the 2 pieces together.
Yeah.
So that's going to be in and out there. And that's got my 3 wraps. All of this, whilst it's anchoring the beads on, is simply design features, which is why I decided to go with 3s really. It could have been anything. 3s are as good as anything. And then I want to come up here.
So that's in between the 2 loops now.
In between. So I'm wrapping now this piece. Basically, I'm wrapping these for the next bead.
Yep, I see.
So I've got 3 singly, 3 doubly, and then I want 3 singly again. And I can go through there, and then I'm going to have to sew it through that bit. That's your 2, and sew it through that bit. Kink the wire, unkink the wire before it causes problems, and then I'm just going to push those together again so it's nice and neat. Fold it over and put my next bead on, which is the big one. And as you can see, then you've actually got this space. This is upside down at the moment, but you've got this space that you can start putting the head pins onto. Because this is actually at the top, if you like, underneath the bottom that you're seeing at the moment, so it's upside down. I'm now going to come back upwards for the securing wraps. So it's going to be this side of the bead again.
So you're going to do 3 singularly, 3 doubly, and then 3 singly, and that's what's going to add it into the location you want it. Because of course, I suppose if you were just going to go in the same place for the double wrap each time, you'd have the gemstones in a perfect line. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, there's no problem with that. I say basically, I'll show you on this one. Normally, I'd put this underneath, but it doesn't. I probably don't need to do it. I can just kind of show it you. Just put those wraps in. Pop it through there so it's out of the way. Right, so I've got on there the three wraps on the two base wires again. Now with the next bead, I am actually wanting to put it here. So I'm in completely the right place to put those single wraps here. If I wanted, just as a design feature, to have it on the inside of the piece, sorry, I know my finger's in the way, it's just about to pop off.
Yeah, I can see.
If it's there, then this wire's in the wrong place.
Yeah.
So all I do is finish that wire off, cut it off, and then start it again, lower at the other side of those double wrapping wires.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it completely does, definitely.
As I say, because you've got 3 wraps, it's secure enough. You don't need to worry about having to put it in a certain place just because the wire's there.
Yeah.
That's why I just take a workable length, and you can keep using that until you run out, or until you just want to cut it off and start again, basically.
I see.
So that's really all there is in terms of those wires. Other than once you're kind of ready to finish, obviously this end, that end's not finishable, but this end is ready to finish off. So
yeah.
Just make sure it's kind of flush. Chop it kind of close to the edge on the back. And then all of the pieces I just go over and carefully squidge in with my flat nose pliers. For these ones, I'm just going to go in and give it, a few squidges around. Just settles everything down and provides a little bit of kind of corner on that, really, so it holds it even more securely. And again, another design feature, if you wanted to, on the front of it, would be to go where the double wraps are, and just kind of go in with your round nose pliers just to kind of kink it in.
I like that, little bit of an indentation.
Yeah. So there's lots of kind of design, sort of, I'm just trying to kind of catch the light on
that
that
you
one.
can do with that.
Yeah, there's lots of kind of decisions you can kind of make as you go along. Yeah. I did think about sort of putting templates for these online, but actually it's easier if you're not working to a template. You're just kind of designing as you go. Decide where you want the folds to kind of be, and where you want the size beads to be, and just kind of work it as you go, really.
I see.
Yeah. So that really is it, other than to say with this one in particular, because you've got 2 elements, you've then got a decision. Chop that off because it's pulling it up a little bit. Of where you anchor them together. And my original idea again was actually to put these 2 together, just make a little jump ring. I actually made the jump rings out of the 1.5 mil. It is tougher to do. I do saw cut mine. I just went carefully with the saw, really. Takes a little bit longer, but it's perfectly easy to do it. I wrap them on the gizmo as well, so that's easy enough to do with that wire. You're not fighting it just because it's 1.5. But actually when I came to do it on that one, it didn't seem to work very well. So actually what I ended up doing was, this loop was a little bit longer, was kind of that, and then attaching it with 2 jump rings, attaching it twice.
I see.
So it's sort of
it's a nice little angle. I quite like that.
Yeah. And then obviously, as far as your dangles are concerned, you can decide where you want to put those. If you want to put any on, and how big to put them, how many, you could kind of go to town and put lots more on if you wanted to on that one.
And you've attached this to silver chain, and then you've done your dangles on your head pins with the silver as well. What made you want to do that?
Well, I mean, it was out of necessity, really. It was kind of what I had to hand.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, if you wanted to kind of go for colour matching, you could do the rose gold findings.
Yeah.
But actually, I quite like the copper and silver together. I think I'm a bit of a...
I really do. They're so in at the moment, mixed metals.
Yeah.
It's so fashionable at the moment. It's everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think this piece goes to show how beautifully they can work together, because you've got the texturing, but also you've got the chain. It's wonderful.
Yeah, and I think as well, with having kind of the silver chain on it, it almost draws attention to the copper kind of piece rather than the silver chain.
Definitely. Perfect. So what else are we going to have a little look at?
Well, I wondered if you wanted, if you were wondering about the, it's memory wire that the pendant's on.
This pendant, yeah.
Again, it was a little bit kind of born out and said, what shall I do? Shall I just kind of put it on a bit of bare memory wire? Shall I put on another chain? I thought, I've already got chain, let's do something a little bit different. I kind of came across that, which is actually is it half hitch? Not, I'm sure somebody who's a lot better at macrame will be able to tell me better. I just kind of do stuff. I don't tend to figure out what they're called normally. So
I'm a bit like that, you know. I'm a bit like that. I've been doing Kumihimo for years and years, but I didn't realise until I worked here that it was even called Kumihimo.
It's kind of, if it works, what does it matter
exactly.
what it's called, really? And I think it's sort of, you know, a little bit because I sort of spend a lot of time on my own making jewellery rather than kind of talking about it. But
until now,
yeah, I ought to start knowing what names are and stuff. So I've got, instead of kind of playing with the memory wire, I'm just pretending that the beading thread's the memory wire.
Yep, so the beading thread on this board here now. Good noise.
Oh,
that is good. Oh, reminds me of my cello playing days.
That's one for the Jewellery Maker band.
This is pretend your memory wire. It's just a little bit easier to show you under these lights. So this beading thread here is your base wire, which will be your memory wire. We have got memory wire on the website, so just type it in, you'll be able to see it. Or call the call centre, they'll be able to help you out with that too.
I mean, just pop that on there. I've just realised what I haven't
Also,
done.
we have got this cord that she's using on there as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is the 0.5 cord. You could use the 1mm as well. I'm wondering if the other end's any less frayed. No, probably not. So what I want to do is just make sure that heads through a crimp bead. And this was how I attached it onto the memory wire. And then put the memory wire on it. And what you'll find, and then I'll just lose the cord and do it all again.
If you haven't got memory wire, but you've got this kit that was an £11 saving, and you get the 1.5, could you do it around the 1.5?
I suspect
and then shape
so.
It? Because it's so hard, isn't it? What do you think?
Yeah, I suspect you probably could actually.
Because it's your lazy strand, isn't it? So you're not actually doing anything extra with it.
No. I mean, it'd be interesting to see. It's not quite long enough to pop on here to see, but I suppose the only thing is if you might need to find a different way of attaching it. I'm not sure if the 1.5 would go through crimp beads. Having said that, I should check. No, I don't think it will. But I mean, there's other ways of
you could just wrap around it, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Ways and means.
Yeah. Leave a little tail because then I can kind of chop that off when I'm done. And the thing that you'll find with the memory wire that you can't find with the beading thread is that it will move up and down. So
it'll keep the tension.
Again. So we've got it in the right spot. Beginning to think it'd be easier to put it on the memory wire. There we go. Right, so then all we're doing, and it did take the entire length of the cord, but it doesn't really matter where it starts from. We've got this lying over your lazy strand, make a loop, and then take the end, which I've got somewhere in here, underneath that. Let's see if I can find the end, show you a bit easier. There we go. Under the lazy strand and through that loop. And I think if you do like the full hitch, you'd then do a sort of a backwards version of that. But I'm not, it's just the half hitch. So that's one knot.
Yeah.
And then you do the same again. Make that
always
loop.
in the same direction.
Always in the same direction, and just keep going like that. As I've got quite a lot on here, but that did sort of take the whole lot, and then you can decide how close you want it to be, really. But what you'll find as you start doing it, is starting already, is it turns automatically because you're only doing half. You're always coming out the same.
I see. The
same space. And what you'll find if you do it on something like this, obviously the memory wire, it is kind of like moving around anyway. It's free, but because it's caught here, what I'm now finding is I'm sort of ending up underneath it. So you might need to sort of figure out where you're going and pull it around in order to just be able to keep working the right side without sort of creating another sort of knot that you're not trying to do. So I think you can actually see the twists just beginning to come on there.
You can see that it does sort of build up relatively quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, once you've got the hang of it, and obviously the shorter the cord gets as you go along, it gets even quicker still because you've got less to pull through. But then what you can do, I'm just trying to kind of get a decent amount on here, so I can show you, you know, a few natty sort of variations that you can do with it, really.
Am I right in thinking that this technique would be the type of thing that you could sort of do whilst you're watching a bit of Corrie, just relaxing?
Yeah.
Whip it up kind of quickly. You don't have to give it your full undivided. Once you've got that pattern and that rhythm, it's quite restful.
Yeah. I mean, it literally is just kind of, you know, lay it over in a loop, and then put the other end underneath the lazy strand and through that loop. So there really isn't anything to kind of be thinking about at all. You can, you know, get that done quite easily. It's not a taxing task. It is an end of the day sort of a thing to do, really. But what you can do then, I've probably got enough to be able to show there now. And let me know if you want it on kind of the close up. These are all really quite close together. Actually, if I just
to reiterate that you're not getting the cord in this in the kit, you're getting the 3 strands and the wire, but we've got loads on the website, so have a little look. There's loads on the website.
Now I've got it sort of up. What you can do is actually, if it's not long enough, or as long as you want, pull it upwards. It actually makes it longer.
And then you can scrunch it as well and make it more dramatic.
Yeah.
Like a coil-like
effect.
I
mean, what you'll find, as you can see, that it's sort of quite an open spiral there as well. As you scrunch it down, it gets quite close. But then what you can do is unwind it a little bit if you didn't want it that close.
And it's wonderful the amount of different effects you can get. It's such a simple technique. I would go as far as to say it's easier than a plait, actually. Because you remember, you know when you were learning how to plait hair when you were younger, it was really difficult to get your head around. That, I would say, is even easier than a plait, but the effect is really dramatic, really dynamic, almost this spiral staircase look you're getting. It's so easy to do, though.
Yeah, I mean, I have to admit, it was just kind of, what do? I want something to hang the pendant off. I wanted something, you know, a little bit different, but not kind of overplaying and taking over the sort of the main piece. And I just kind of had a bit of a play and kind of came up with that, and it's like, oh, I think I might need to be testing out what I might be able to do with that. I mean, if you did put kind of wire as the core, then obviously you could start kind of moulding that around and doing stuff as well.
Doing something else in it.
Yeah, I think there's several kind of. I shouldn't say that. I might be, you know, using another show to show that.
I know. Yeah. Stay tuned for more of this idea on do that. So just explain to me exactly how we finish this necklace off.
Well, I always worry a little bit about memory wire. I mean, it's fairly obvious with. I can't say I'm the last word in memory wire, so I've really only started using it quite recently. Obviously, with a bracelet, you could just use kind of several coils, and you know it's going to stay on there because it's got several coils. Yeah. With a necklace, you don't necessarily want several, and I'm not quite sure how to put several coils on. That might be quite dangerous. Yeah. So you end up with one coil, and then it's kind of, is that just going to kind of be a bit weird and not kind of sit very well and pull off? So all I've kind of done is put one of the new clasps on there, one of the S clasps. I think I put crimp covers over the 2 crimps I'd put on there just to kind of finish it, and then it's literally that new clasp that's in the new findings pack.
So you've snipped off the memory wire that has the end, and then have you put a knot in that?
I think I turned the memory wire.
Yeah.
Obviously the ends of the cord are crimped
in.
So you just cut whatever's left, the towel that you've left, put a crimp cover over it, and that keeps that all nice and neat.
Your clasp on. Because that is handy. Of course, memory wire will stay in place, but if you have got a drop pendant on, just like you say, for extra security, it's nice to see.
Although, having said that, moving that around the studio, the clasp keeps coming undone because the memory wire is kind of a little bit smaller,
Yeah, I see.
and it's actually kind of undoing the clasp and staying on the bust there. So
This brooch is beautiful. I love how you've done the brooch back. It's got a lot of strength to it.
yeah, it is my first attempt at a brooch as well, so it's not quite as tidy, I think, as I do it kind of second time round.
You have got a couple of minutes if you just want to talk us through or show us how you've done this back. We've got about 5 minutes.
I can definitely show you the pin bit. I had I can't remember even which way. I think I ended up doing the folds first. But it was a bit of a decision to make, really, as to whether I made the pin bit first and then did the folds, or the other way around. Because both of them seem to kind of need sort of stuff. And actually it was that kind of, so how on earth should you make a pin, really? So got the piece of wire, and what I did to start with, I've got these kind of flush cutters, quite cheap, but flush cutters. And angled that in as much as I could, really, with the wire, so you can kind of see there, and just a bit pinging off.
Yeah, let's not ping it.
There we go. That's a strange angle there. So you've got a really quite sharp kind of edge to that.
Yeah.
Obviously it's a bit kind of bird, and you wouldn't necessarily, it's not actually that bad, but you wouldn't really want to be kind of putting it through your best clothes. I'd say this pin probably is really for
scarves.
For woolens rather than anything fine anyway. But I'll have to keep experimenting and see if I can get it a bit better. And then I thought, right, I'll just get, seeing as I've got my hammer and my block out,
why not?
I might as well just
hammer and block away. Special offer on this at the moment, bottom of your screen, WGGC42.
And then what I was really trying to do is kind of keep the round shape, get that point a bit more pointed if I can. So what I'm going to try and do, this is going to be interesting, I'm not trying doing this on TV, is get that point with the hammer, keep turning the wire and just kind of see where you get to, really.
Okay.
So just kind of start off with that one and keep kind of turning it around, and then you're never kind of getting it to that sort of flat stage anywhere. If it's flattening in one bit, you're then kind of unflattening it by hitting it on its side. So you're
changing the composition of the metal, which is work, hardening it.
Yeah. I mean, I did run over the whole once I kind of done that bit of it. And I think sometimes you might be lucky and actually get this really nice and just kind of doing this. Stroke it a little bit. What I've got actually is a burr now that's kind of where that very end piece, because it's quite thin, is sort of split with doing that. But you could do it a little bit more and actually get it a little bit thinner than that. I'm still quite sort of fat there. So what the idea really is to keep thinning out that end.
And you can see that Teresa, she's not hammering straight down when she's trying to get the smoothness of it, she's brushing it around. And that's a really good thing to show that you can use so many different techniques with the hammer and block, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, one thing you will find, because you've obviously got quite a bare end, and proof, if you like, that this has got e-coating on it, that some of the coating will start kind of coming off of that end, simply because, you know, you're never going to be able to keep the coating because it was kind of in that sort of encased around the round bit, and you're trying to make it thinner. And then all I kind of did in terms of just, you know, work hardening really along the piece that you want, straighten that out a little bit as well. I did it slightly better than that because this has managed to
and then you did a triple coil, did you?
Yes, yeah. I mean, I suspect just kind of a couple would do, but wherever you're wanting that, I can't even remember what size, I think it was the small one. I really just went in and coiled that round, and that then acts as your spring for kind of undoing the clasp. But yeah, I mean, it would work with just two, I think, because it's such thick wire. But then because you've still got that burr, all I then did was took the flat file.
Yeah.
I've got one of the large toolkits, so I've got the
Flat file.
the piece with the several kind of ends that you can kind of put in
Yeah.
it, and there's flat file in there, and just filed all of that down so you hadn't got any burr on there at all. But then obviously with this bit, you're making the swirl and then just a little hook in the back.
So if I show you exactly how this is, because this back hasn't actually been added on, it's part of the whole design. So can you see as the spiral comes around that we created at the front here, we've created these spirals. This final loop at the end here actually carries on to be the catch. And the same on the other side. So it's one continuous piece, which is beautiful because you've got that stability there. One thing I would ask, just in case someone maybe creates this and maybe is a little bit worried about working the beautiful spiral effect in with a sharp section there, is there a way of adding the back onto it?
Yeah, well, as I say, I did actually do the swirls first, and then did the pin
With your spare.
As I say, whether it would be neater to do the pin first, I don't know. You could just have a straight piece like I've got here. This would just be your pin, and then actually wrap on the non-pin end of it, wrap the swirl onto that.
With the 0.4.
Yeah, I mean what I didn't want in kind of just design terms in that is having that straight piece showing, which it would do, because that would be kind of the front. This would be where your material is, but you always have that piece. But there's no reason why you shouldn't. Or you could actually make that into just another swirl, another folded kind of bit
that's a really nice
on the back
idea.
anyway. Add your
Really like
gemstones
that
on one
idea.
bit and then just kind of wrap where it hits the wire.
And you've always got a double wave at different levels. I think that's a really
so you'd
nice
add a bit
idea.
of texture in as well.
That's fab. What a brilliant idea. Thank you very much for that, Teresa. Now I just want to let you know of my first bundle that we had on earlier. I've got literally a handful left of that, but I have got a few, double figures on the kit that I have left for you right now, and it's what you can see on screen. The 10mm plain rounds, the 8mm plain rounds, and the 6mm faceted rounds. For your faceted, you have got 75, your 8mm, you've got 150 carats, and for your large 10mm, 270 carats in total you're getting in here. As well as that, you're getting the 2 gauge of wires. I think you've shown perfectly how you can work together with a really thick wire, such as this you're getting here, the 1.5, and a really dainty weaving wire, 0.4. I think you've shown perfectly how well they work together.
Yeah. I always use 0.4 for wrapping anyway. It's got that sort of that nice strength, but the it's thin enough to be able to do pretty much anything with. But yeah, I was quite pleased how it worked so well with the 1.5 as well.
I think it's beautiful. It's really great. The price on this kit was over £32. You got a whopping £11 saving on your price today. £20.95. Over £11 you've made saving on this today. So do get your hands on it now. I don't want you to miss out. It's such a great deal and it works together so perfectly. You can create these looks, but so much more because they just fit exactly as you would want them to. Over £11 saving on this wonderful In the Folds kit today. Now after the break I'm going to be bringing you some wonderful deals, of course, including a really stunning strand of golden rutile quartz. It's TikTok last in stock, 50 or less of everything, so it's going to be fast paced, quick moving, all after this very short break.
When placing your order by phone or on our website, why not add a small donation to a charitable cause? Collectively, the Genuine Gemstone Company are cycling 24 hours a day for 31 days, equalling the distance from our studios in Redditch, England to Arusha in Tanzania. all on an exercise bike situated in our Gemstone Museum. For every £20,000 we raise, the Colourful Life Foundation will be able to build a school in the Arusha district. So this is your chance to give back to a community that provides us with so many beautiful gemstones and hopefully help us break a Guinness World Record in the process. 100% of every donation goes to the cause, so call us or visit our website to add a donation to your order today.
It is easy to donate to the charity cycle ride. Donate now by calling the contact centre or by clicking the donate option on our website. And thank you.
You can now keep in touch by liking Jewellery Maker UK on Facebook. Get interactive with Jewellery Maker.
Jewellery Maker ships to the following countries. We offer 2 delivery services, standard and premium. So wherever you are in the world, Jewellery Maker are never far away.
You can now keep in touch by following Jewellery Maker on Twitter. Get interactive with Jewellery Maker.
Do you need a helping hand to get started with Jewellery Maker? Are you stuck for ideas and need inspiration? Then visit our Jewellery Maker website, where you can find our video tutorials. Expand your knowledge and skills with these easy-to-follow jewellery making demonstrations. Whether you're a beginner, hobbyist, or business owner, there's always something new to learn. It couldn't be easier. Simply click and learn some new jewellery making techniques.
You can now watch clips from Jewellery Maker on our YouTube channel. Get interactive with Jewellery Maker.
Welcome back to Jewellery Maker. This is Designer Inspiration. My name is Becky and squirreling away on her challenge is Teresa. How's it going so far?
It's going all right. I've started a necklace. I've got an idea in my head, so it's just me trying to kind of put it together.
Finish that off.
Yeah.
Well, no pressure, but we're coming to you in about 40 minutes.
Okay.
And go. I've got for you 3 star buys in this hour. It's a bit of a treat, isn't it? We often bring you 2, but you've got 3 because we had 3 strands that were just too beautiful to miss. Citrine is going to be one of your star buys. 45 carats worth there. Green amethyst, 50 carats. And finally, the one I gave you a little hint about earlier, golden rutile, 150 carats, faceted drops. These are all coming up for you in this hour. So stay with us and we will bring those to you. Now this is TikTok, last in stock. That means that I have 50 or less of everything. This time is going to be fast paced. It's going to be quick. Because it's last in stock, as soon as you see the graphics and you know that you want it, we truly encourage you to get on the phone, check it out of your baskets, because this is the time where some people can be left disappointed with people taking things at the last minute. TikTok last in stock also means that it's our clearance prices. We are going to be doing basement low prices for you today in TikTok last in stock. So let's get started, shall we? Where are we starting, Kirsty? Wonderful graduated strand of your rose quartz drops, center drilled. Now this is 95 carats worth and they're 9x3 all the way to 18 by 10 mil. I love how these are stranded, pointing in the 2 opposite directions. I think that would be a beautiful way to use them in a piece, actually. It's a really charming, delicate gemstone, very beautiful in these plain drops. And because they're center drilled, is little you have to do with them. Let's take a look at your price of these. £4.95 for genuine rose quartz. You've got 95 carats. It's a beautiful length strand. You've got a mixture of sizes in here, which means if you want to do a drop pendant and then a pair of perfect earrings, you can do that in moments. £4.95. It's less than a £5 for you today for genuine rose quartz. That's all you're going to be paying. But it is TikTok, last in stock, so get yourself on the phone now. I have less than 40 of those in stock now. I mean, TikTok last in stock, I have exactly 37 of these. 37 of these today. And look at these. They are sizable. 900 carats worth you've got here of this white magnesite. These are your graduated slabs. Look at the size of each of them. They're graduated from around 10 by 8 all the way to the 28 by 18. This strand is an absolute whopper, isn't it? It is absolutely huge. Magnesite, you've got this beautiful mixture, this beautiful milky light tone, and then internally you'll see you've got these little inclusions that have this brown and sometimes dark, often called by oxidized iron within there. This, I think, with pops of colour will work really well. Because they're so large and dramatic, you could do a mixture of goodies with these, including a pair of cufflinks. I think will look beautiful with this. It's 900 carats, it's TikTok last in stock. 37 of these in stock. Let's take a look at your price. £5.45 for 900 carats. That is exceptional. If you're looking at this and thinking, I have no idea what I would do with that, let's go over to our guest designer and ask Teresa exactly what she might do with a few of these.
Again, it's that I'm torn, I think, because they're kind of quite flat and fat, if you like. To turn them, so you've got kind of the face of them. So rings, using that kind of format would be quite nice.
Almost like a button effect.
Yeah, the sort of button sort of stuff. But actually I quite like it sort of all together in that sort of chunky sort of textured look. So you could put, several of them together on like a wire link or something like that. And maybe some chunky rounds in between them then. Just to really kind of play against the different shapes.
It's a beautiful idea, I really like that. £5.45 is your price on this whopping 900 carats for you now. Say that to me again. Say that to me again. Yeah. Wow. I had to ask you so many times then, because honestly I did not believe you. This smoky quartz is so smoky, it's almost jet black. Take a look at this for me. I can't believe this is smoky quartz. This smoky quartz is so smoky, even if I show you in the spaces. Now, beauty is very much within the eye of the beholder. However, in the gemstone world, it's widely agreed that the deeper the smokiness in smoky quartz, the higher the quality and the more appealing it is. With that said, the smokier, the more exclusive, the more quality the strand has, this would suggest you're going to have a luxury price on this, doesn't it? Because it's so dark, it's almost jet. You can see there is still transparency there, and the areas with the transparency, they're a really deep coffee tone. But really, this is a beautiful strand, and they're faceted rondelles. Look at the sparkle on this strand with this deep smokiness. If you do get a chance to get your hands on this strand, I tell you what, you are going to be one lucky jewellery maker. The price on these, £9.95 for this quality, this deep, rich smokiness is amazing, but this is breathtaking. £6.95. That is something really special. I've already got a quarter of my stock gone of these at this price. I've got 32 in stock on total. You need to get yourself on the phones really, really quickly with these, because genuinely these are going to fly out at £6.95 for this higher quality, this deep smokiness. For £6.95, you're getting all of the things that in the gem community we look for in smoky quartz. The deeper the smoke, the more beautiful some believe. And you're getting exactly that in here. I've got people checking it out of their baskets. Make sure if it's in your basket you are checking it out, because I'm only in my teens on this now. I'm only in my teens, so do check it out because it's going really fast at £6.95. Get your hands on this beautiful strand right now. Now, Kirsty, I'm going to have to go from those because they're going so quickly. Do stay where you are on the phone. We will be with you. Say it to me again. Oh, it's on this side. These are fab. These are your pendant bales. They don't look like that to me. No. These are your rectangular pendant bales. They do look a bit like little whistles. You can see you have almost a little quaver, not as in the crisp, as in the note, shape. And what you have here is the rectangular pendant bale. So, if you've got a cabochon, or if you have a pendant, you really simply stick this onto the back of that piece, and then you have the bale at the top to loop it onto your piece. I've never seen these before, I have to admit. What you can do with these is push them into your polymer clay. You've got here the possibility to pop these into here, squidge it on, and then you've got a drop to the back. Sometimes you'll make a beautiful you'll make a beautiful pendant and you really like it and you'll hang it in a certain way, but then you might want to change the way it's actually positioned. So say you've got the orientation of a heart and it's your drop heart, but then you want it just on an angle to give it a bit of a more contemporary feel. You can do that with these. Simply pop them on to the back of it. You need to put it on a flat surface, of course, because this is where the back would go. So I wonder if I can show you. So say this is my gemstone. You can pop this onto the back like so, and then you can have that as your drop. You can hide the bale if you want to, or you could do it right at the top to give you a bigger drop. You could even do it sideways, can't you, and have this dropped as an eye shape. This means that you don't have to worry about things like where the drill hole is, if there's a drill hole. Now, the price on this is special. Let's take a look. £3.95. Only problem is, I've got how many? 32 of these in stock right now. That's all we have. Once they're gone, they're gone. This is TikTok last in stock. We don't have any more in the warehouse. These are so handy, so useful. If you are into polymer clay, but perhaps you've got to that point when you're doing the polymer clay and you're getting to the baking process and you make something that's really beautiful and you think, oh, I'll have that as, you know, just a singular piece by itself. But then you think, oh, I wish I'd popped a bale on that, and now I've baked it and I can't do it. What an effort. Don't worry, because you've got these in your stash. £3.95. 5 of these rectangular pendant balls. They're 5mm with the balls at the top. £3.95. Now we're going to do a slightly early one of these because I've got 3 in this hour. It's the first of your 3 star buys. This is that beautiful citrine strand I gave you a little heads up for a moment ago. You've got 45 carats worth in here. Now, citrine is a wonderful gemstone. I'm sure a lot of you may know, but some may not, that 95% of the citrine in the world is heated to give it this colour. It's very basically a purple quartz that is then heated up. It's a completely accepted gemstone treatment for these in particular within the trade, because citrine itself is so rare to find that the fact that we found a way to create it simply by heating it is something really wonderful and truly almost admired in a way. Now, the difference between this and your purple quartz, your amethyst, is the fact that when this is heated, the iron impurities are minimalized, they're reduced, which is why you get this really zesty, lemony tone running throughout your citrine. That's the only difference. Because of the heating, the impurities are reduced massively, and that's what changes this colour so dramatically. It's a wonderful gemstone. It's known as the happy gemstone, and citrine is one of those things that location kind of makes it. So I'm trying to think of something that, for example, say you were going to buy fashion wise, say you were going to go and buy yourself something from Paris or Milan. That's got a high name to it, doesn't it? As opposed to perhaps, I don't know, down your local high street. It's not got the same name to it, has it, as going to these high-end places. The place that gives you the best citrine, and it's recognised throughout the world that the highest grade citrine that you get comes from Brazil. The reason is because you get the beautiful tones, but you've got the clarity in there as well. It's a very sought after location to get your citrine from. Citrine is darted about all over the world, that you find it in many other places, but truly Brazil is the most renowned location to get your beautiful citrine from. Now, Brazilian citrine is, because it's so sought after, because it's so wanted, and because it's so adored in the gem world, to get your citrine from Brazil, that can take up the price. So to get it from other locations is great, because you can, you know, get yourself lower prices on it. However, it's not Brazilian. This is Brazilian. This is from Brazil, the location in the world that is renowned for bringing you the best citrine. This is mined in Brazil. But you know what we're like. Just because it's mined in the location that is renowned for beautiful citrine, it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to whack up the price for you. Let's give you the luxury of Brazilian citrine at a start buy price. Can you believe that? £4.95.
That's ridiculous.
Your face
That's
then.
absolutely ridiculous.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it? And it's a 30 centimetre strand. It's got a loop on it. So this is a 30 centimetre strand you're working with here. It's from the most renowned, the most prestigious location to get your citrine. This is from there, and it's £4.95 for 45 carats of these beautiful graduated flat coins. 30 centimetre strand, that's a star buy and a half, isn't it? Isn't it? People with your baskets open, as Dale Winton used to say, check it out. Do you remember Supermarket Sweep? Producer Kirsty's husband's mum, bit of a tedious link, was on that. £4.95. If you've got it in your basket, check it out today, because we have got a few people wanting this, and I'm getting low in stock now, so do check it out off your basket. Let's head back to TikTok last in stock. 50 or less of all of this. Now this is your multicoloured moonstone. Moonstone, oh, you see the schiller on the front of this beautiful grey in the centre. That's beautiful, isn't it? 170 carats with you're getting in this multicoloured moonstone. Graduated faceted medium nuggets. You're getting a beautiful range of moonstone tones here, all with this lovely lunar-like schiller just darting across the surface. Now, it was believed in ancient times that moonstone was actually made from darts of the moon falling down to earth and hitting the earth with such a force that they crystallize and made these beautiful gemstones. And you can completely see why people would believe this, because you do have that lunar-like appearance. You know, on those evenings where it's slightly cloudy and it just covers the moon slightly and you get that sort of blue blushing tones running through, giving you that shimmer. You've got that in these stones, so I totally understand why they might have believed that in ancient times. Whopping 170 carats, beautiful sizes, some of these all the way up to 18 by 10 mil on this 16 centimetre strand. Let's look at your price. £9.95. It's under £10 for this whole strand. You've got your lovely silver tones running through here. You've got almost your antiques bronze running through these ones. And then you've got this beautiful white moonstone at the bottom too. A great selection of colour. Work them together, work them separately. Give them a go for £9.95, because I'm sure when you get them home, you too will love the shimmer you get with these. Say it to me again, sorry, Kay. Ooh, it's your ruby zoisite. I don't think we have enough of this, you know, because I really adore it. You've got quite a few pops of the ruby in here. Ruby zoisite is very basically, as the name sort of suggests, it's two types of gemstone, basically, naturally melded into one, completely created by Mother Nature. We haven't done some weird kind of, I don't know, Frankenstein thing with this. It is completely created by Mother Nature. So you'll be able to see on some of these, you've got the greeny tones, which is your zoisite, the gemstone zoisite. But you also have these beautiful pops of your pink and red, and that is your genuine ruby. So it's a mixture of two gemstones in one. You've got a double whammy in here. 455 carats worth you've got in this strand, and they are your 12 mil plain rounds. So really lengthy strand. Again, you've got plenty on here. You're getting a real nice mix of your zoisite with that genuine ruby included in there. You see the pops of pink there? You can see them, can't you, as I'm rolling it? There's plenty of pink in. Some, of course, have loads of pink, and some of them just have little bits, but this strand is wonderful. You've got plenty of ruby in this one. One of them is almost completely pink with this beautiful ruby tone. Really nice. So it's 12 mil rounds. It's your zoisite rubies. Let's take a look at the price. £6.45. I've got plenty of you on the phone lines for this, waiting for that price to come in. The price is there. No one's hanging up. You're all happy with that price, aren't you? To get zoisite and ruby all in one, 455 carats, 12 mil rounds. They're workable, but because it's the two gemstones in there, you've got this texture and you've got this interest in your gemstone, even though they're the plain rounds. So it's workable, but also fun. At £6.45, it's a really fun price as well, isn't it? Now, I've got some multicoloured family here. Let's see if Teresa can guess what family of gemstones I've got. Okay, it's multicoloured. I feel a bit like this is charades or something. Okay, it's a family of gemstones. It's like the highest grade gemstone family that you can think of. It's the really up there one. Think of a banker, and perhaps he's had a gemstone named after him, yeah? He's one of them in the family. Think of the water, think of double water. That's another one from the family, okay?
Okay.
So think of, have you ever heard of a banker called Mr. Morgan?
Oh, right.
JP,
yeah.
Good old JP.
Yes.
And then water, maybe aqua, you might say, for water. And then maybe marine. What gemstone family do you think I've got here?
That'd be the beryls then.
The beryls are in the building. They're here. Not the best clues I could have given, but still, you worked it out. This is a beautiful, beautiful strand. 30 of these exactly I have in stock. Look at the beautiful mixture of colours. You can see the aquamarine, you can see some heliodor in here as well, and that morganite pink popping through. 95 carats worth you've got in here, and these are your faceted drops. Can I just point out as well, they are so squidged on that they're actually not really a strand, they're all overlapping. We've literally put so many on this strand. It's wonderful, you're going to get a real wealth in here. Now, beryl really is, when it comes to a family of gemstones, they're kind of the ones that are sought after because it's got such a great variety in there. These are your faceted drops, and honestly, look at how squidged on they are. They're completely overlapping. It's a melee of your beryl you've got on here. Okay, gonna give you a little bit of a tip at home. We're gonna do the little trust in me thing now. This is really important. I don't say this all the time. I don't say this every show. It happens now and again when I think that you really just need to take a few words of wisdom so that you don't miss out. You know about beryl. You adore beryl at home. You adore it so much that when we've had this on once, it flew out so much that I have less than 30 in stock right now. It's beryl. It's your high grade family. The quality of the cut on these and the faceting, including the wealth of gemstones you're getting. This truly, when it comes to multicolored beryl of the faceted drops, this is for me one of the biggest color ranges I've ever seen on a strand of aquamarine drop. Now, I'm telling you to trust me on this because I have less than 30, and if you'd be happy with one of the highest grade family of gemstones for under £15, yes, under £15 for beryl, please get on the phone now, because when the price actually comes in, they're gonna go so quickly. Genuine beryl, morganite, heliodor, high quality aquamarine, all faceted perfectly. I've got less than 30 at this price. £14.95. Don't worry, don't start hanging up the phone now thinking, well, when Becky usually tells us to trust her and she says £15, she means way under 15. I'm not going to leave you hanging on £14.95. This strand is going rock bottom. Real beryl, a whole strand, the most impact of colour mixture I've ever seen in a strand of mixed beryl. Sometimes they're so subtle you can hardly tell, but you can see at home all these different colours. £9.95 is all you're going to be paying for this exceptional strand. Look at how well they are squidged on. Okay, people at home who've got this in your baskets, I've got a stack of people on the phone. Check it out right now. I have 26 of these in stock now, 26 strands in stock. I've got a fair few people on the phone, and I've got at least 15 of you with this in your basket. If you're not checking this out, it's going to be a sellout. So you will have this stolen out of your bag if it's not checked out. You can check out as many times as you want to today. Honestly, to get your hands on this amount of aquamarine and morganite and beautiful heliodor and so many beautiful, clear, wonderful set of tones in here at such a renowned family for £9.95. If you've been worried about using this before, you don't have to be anymore. You do not have to be worried anymore. At £9.95, your pieces are worth it. Give it a go. You will fall in love. £9.95 for this exceptional strand. If you're on the phone, stay where you are. You are in a queue. It's not too long though. We're looking around a minute on the phone. It is a free phone number from a landline, so do stay exactly where you are because it's going to be worth it. £9.95. This is going to be a sellout, definitely going to be a sellout at £9.95. So please stay where you are because trust me, you'll love it. It's worth it. And at that price, it is not to be missed. If you try and ring up for this in, say, 20 minutes, we will have sold out. You will have missed it. So stay where you are, it's worth it. Speaking of worth it, let's head over to a wonderful star buy, shall we? Oh, are we doing star buy now? No. Ignore me. Well, no, I don't want to do a star buy then, but you mentioned star buy. No, I don't want to. Go on, what do you want to do, Kirs? Hold on, a star buy is coming. I'm just so excited about the star buy, clearly. Ooh, these are large. It's unusual to get shell pearl in a plain round, isn't it? 12mm plain round. Persian shell pearl. It's a beautiful colour, isn't it? Now, the great thing with shell pearl is you get almost the pearlescent type effect. However, you've got the strength there. Very basically, what happens is we get ourselves a shell, we drop it into and coat it in something called mother of pearl beading, and that's how they build up in shape and strength. They're much stronger than a normal pearl. You don't have to be worried about your perfume affecting them. They'll be fine. Hard as nails, these are. 12mm, your price on these today, £5,045, and you're getting an absolute wealth on here for 12mm rounds. Perfect rounds on these. Now I can bring you a star buy. This is a really special gem to Jewellery Maker for many reasons. Of course, it's beauty, but we do also, there's quite a strong connection to it. Steve Bennett, who of course is the founder, the CEO of the company, he has a beautiful example of a rutile quartz in our museum. If you've ever been here, you'll probably be able to see it, and it's actually named after his daughter. It's called the Lily rutile quartz. So it's something that when Steve looks out for rutile quartz, because of that connection, he does look out for a beautiful quality, and this is what you're getting in this strand. Now, it's made up mainly from titanium dioxide, and you have these bursts of gold running through it that are sometimes referred to as Venus hair. Can I just show you this one at the end here? Because honestly, the golden fleck is just, when you catch it in the light, can you see, isn't that gold? Look at that gold fleck at the top. Can you see that gold fleck at the top? That is why it's referred to sometimes as Venus hair. You're getting that in plenty of these beautiful gemstones. Now, it's something that we have quite often in the monochrome colours, but to get it in gold to this quality is a real treat, I have to admit. Rutile quartz has got, if you haven't worked with it before, it's got almost this needle-like internal structure. You know how amber, it's obviously the sap of a tree, and it encapsulates pieces of nature around it. Sometimes bugs will fly into it, sometimes bits of leaf will get into it, and then it solidifies and you get the amber. Well, you've got that sort of look here, but as opposed to it being particles, you know, of browns and blacks that you might expect, it's this beautiful metallic gold that you have running through each of these beautiful quartzes. Now, these are your pair faster graduated drops, and they, as you can see, are top drilled. They're 16 by 11 mil, all the way down to the more dainty 10 by 8 mil, which is still actually pretty substantial. It's a 20 centimetre strand. It's a really high quality because, as I said, Steve looks out for high quality when he's working with rutile quartz because he had such a connection to it with one named after his daughter. So you're getting high quality of this, that's expected, that's standard. But you're also getting the beautiful needle-like appearance internally of this metallic golden colour. It's a star buy. Let's take a look at the price, shall we? £19.95. It's under £20 for this beautiful strand. A real mix in here. Some with just a delicate golden hue, and then some with this dramatic, almost droplets of gold, it looks like, impacting on each of these. It's a beautiful strand at a really wonderful price of £19.95 today. Imagine mixing this actually with that citrine you got from us earlier on. That'd be beautiful, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be gorgeous? Especially with the way that these are drilled. They look beautiful. Great for springtime colours. £19.95 for you on this lovely strand. I've got a total stash essential for you now. It's your clear quartz. In your plain rounds, they are a stash essential. These 6mm, they're so versatile. The reason clear quartz is such a great gemstone for me is because of the ability for its gemstones to really show themselves off with this. So say I were to show you this with some of the pearls. Quartz has a wonderful ability to pick up colour from other gemstones. Can you see how this pink pop bursts through? Isn't that wonderful? That's the great thing with quartz. Now, it was believed in Roman times, they believed that it was ice sent from God that never melted, and that's what they believed quartz was. And you can see that, can't you? Because you've got this beautiful quality, this stunning clarity to it. It's a really versatile 6mm clear round, 75 carats worth. Let's take a look at your price in this 30cm strand. £5.95. That's a stash essential, and that's a great deal for you at £5.95 today. Really workable, really versatile, and it doesn't matter what colour you're going to mix these with, you know it's going to go. You know how in sort of fashion people might say, oh, a little black dress, it's great because it goes with everything. This is kind of the version of that in the gemstone world, because it really does go with everything, because it actually not only goes with it, but it takes on the qualities of the other gemstones, and the colours actually burst through. It's such a wonderful piece. For £5.95, it's a wonderful price as well. I'm going to do those pearls that we had actually. These are delicious. They're delectable. Now, 2014, we're in it now. Spring summer is honestly a promise just around the corner. It really is. Spring summer 2014, you'll see in the high streets, on the fashion lines, pearls are coming back in a big way. Karl Lagerfeld, who of course is taking over from Chanel, he has said in a recent interview that he's going back to basics. He's going back to what Chanel stood for, which is class and elegance, which is why he's bringing back Coco Chanel's favourite, the pearls. And he's bringing them back not only on his fashion shows with these girls, beautiful girls just strewn in pearls, but also with the fabrics he's using. He's getting this pearlescent effect with silks, and he's doing that a lot of the time by working with these types of colours that you're seeing in this strand. When these types of things come into fashion, and when the big labels such as Chanel bring in this type of theme running through, it sort of soaks down and becomes slightly diluted into the high street. That often means that whatever's in fashion there, that often means that people who are coming to perhaps buy off your stand, they'll be looking out for these types of things because they're high fashion. Think about anything. If something is maybe you see it for the first time, that comes into fashion, you might think, oh, I'm not sure about that. But as it gets filtered down and diluted, and it becomes more and more known and more regular, you actually start to really like it and get really into it and want more of it. That's exactly the type of thing you're going to be seeing when people are coming to your stand looking for these beautiful coloured pearls. 8 by 7 mil, let's take a look at your price. £11.95, because it's really lengthy. £11.95 is your web price. TikTok last in stock though. 40 left exactly. £8.95 for genuine pearls. Can I show you this against my neckline? Because I've just realised how beautifully this goes with my dress. Isn't that beautiful? What about interspersing this with your shell pearl, or even those quartz that we had on earlier on? £8.99. I know we have pearls on now and again, we'll have them on quite often, won't we? And I personally believe it's very easy to forget the price of pearls on the high street, the price of a pair of earrings that are just a plain, real, genuine pearl earrings. You know the price of those, but it's easy to forget, isn't it? I like to, once every couple of weeks, just get online and remind myself the price of pearls anywhere else. Because if you're to look for a pearl bracelet, say, you can easily be paying, what, 70, 80 pounds? If you were to make a bracelet from this, you're probably using just over a third for my wrist. You can create so much from this at such a low price. It's pearls, it's high fashion, it's very in vogue, endless elegance. It's just £8.95 and it goes beautifully with my next strand. Rainbow pyrite. These are your coin shapes, but they're faceted. So the table on these is your diamond shape, and then the faceting pulls round from each side. So even at the side, you have this beautiful, almost concave eye shape. It's really beautiful. Now, this is your rainbow colour. I've got 45 exactly in stock of these. Rainbow colour pyrite. You're getting always these peacock tones running throughout it, which are beautiful and fashionable. 250 carats worth of these ovals, 14 by 10 mil. Let's just get your price in, shall we? £6.95, that's all you're paying for this, and it's a really lengthy strand if I show you the whole thing. £6.95, you're getting all this colour. The wonderful thing with these is it works perfectly with your pearls. It also works perfectly with my next star buy, in fact. It's going to work with so many gemstones because you've got so many colours in there already. It's £6.95. You're getting a mixture of all of these beautiful colours. Great price. I've got for you now your second favourite gemstone of 2013. You know, I was talking about the citrine before and about Brazil and the location. This is Zambian amethyst. Now, when we speak of Zambian amethyst, it's kind of the, how would you describe it? Like the colour palette, the almost go-to colour of the amethyst. If you imagine amethyst and you think of an amethyst colour, you're more than likely going to get this colour in your mind. It's almost the dropper effect. This is one of those locations that for this colour of amethyst, it truly is the only place you can confirm you're definitely going to get this beautiful quality and this gorgeous richness. It's a stunning saturation of colour within this beautiful Zambian, and that's what you're looking for when you want to get yourself amethyst, in particular from Zambia. It's the saturation. As we know with a lot of gemstones, one of the properties we look for is the saturation, and the better the saturation, the higher the price. And to get that so so perfectly and totally naturally in this strand in particular is something wonderful. It's 170 carats worth. It's really easy to price compare this, so I do strongly suggest you do. Have a little look for Zambian amethyst plain 8mm rounds and see what you pull up. Because I can pretty much guarantee it will be nowhere near this price. £6.95. Genuine amethyst, and it's next month's birthstone. It is the gemstone of Valentine himself. It's the beautiful gemstone that is just, it's adored. It's absolutely adored. And it's said to be the Valentine's Day gemstone because St. Valentine, it said, wore it himself. It's said to prolong your love. It's £6.95 for a whacking strand of this today. But it is TikTok, last in stock. What's my number at the moment? I'm in my teens on this now. It's £6.95. If you love amethyst and you're getting ready to do all of your makes on your February birthstone, get this and my star by. This is your final star by. It's a really beautiful strand. We weren't actually going to put this on as a star by, but when we saw it in the flesh, we loved it so much that we just had to bring it to you at a star by. It's 50 carats worth of your green amethyst. Now, some places, it is safe to say, some places, when it gets around the end of the month, they start looking to next month's birthstone and they hike the price of it. Reason being, they know that it's going to be more popular. They know people are going to be thinking about it as gifts and makes. It's naughty. We don't do that. We do not do that. We bring you great prices on this all year round. The green tones that you're getting in this, I always think are absolutely wonderful. If you want to use the same gemstone of the birthstone, but have a little bit of something different to it, perhaps you could create some, perhaps you've got someone who doesn't particularly like purple, but amethyst is their birthstone. This is a great way to work around it because you've still got amethyst, but it's in a beautiful, delicate green tone. Now, it is really a lovely green, poppy, almost peppermint tea colour that you've got running throughout this. 50 carats worth of your amethyst in these graduated plain rondelles. And the rondelles themselves are a beautiful shape too to work with. They're so easy to use. Almost glowing, can you see? It is a 28 centimetre strand here, and they are graduated from around 3x2 all the way to 5x3. Honestly, I just want to pre-warn, if you have not yet started, if you are planning on doing some craft shows, or you're planning on selling some of your jewellery, if you haven't yet started on your Valentine's Day goodies, get this strand and get started ASAP, because honestly it's around the corner and people will be looking for the gemstone of Valentine, which is this gemstone. So do yourself a favour, get it made up, get it on your stall and prepare for a sellout, because people are really going to be looking for this beautiful gemstone. It's your star buy. It's too beautiful for words. Let's take a look at your price. This is my director. Whoa! She did not expect that. £5.95 for this beautiful green amethyst. 50 carats worth. It's perfect for February. It's February's birthday. It's Valentine's stone, and it's in a different colour. It's great. People, not everyone loves purple, of course they don't, but amethyst might be their birthstone. They can still wear it and love it in this green, delicate hue. What a conversation point. Did people know that amethyst came in green? Possibly not. Did your customers know that amethyst is the gemstone of Valentine's? Possibly not. Let them know. Let them know and they'll love it even more. £5.95. It's almost glowing. It's absolutely stunning. It's a beautiful, beautiful strand, and that price is something so special. 50 carats worth in here, green amethyst. It's a real treat to be able to bring you such a lengthy strand in this beautiful rondelle shape. All of this at just £5.95. That's amazing, isn't it? Now, I don't know if you'll remember, earlier on in the show, gave Teresa a beautiful challenge. She got a matrix box, one of the big ones, with all the large chunky nuggets in. Let's have a little nosy exactly what you have made up. Are these some of your goodies that you've been working with?
Well, these are the ones I was going to work with. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of, in terms of kind of colours, that was the two colours I wanted to put together. I haven't had a chance to make up.
You can see this. Can you see the amount on here? These are just 2 gemstones. That's how much you're getting in this.
Yeah. I think there's 2 pots of each, so that's 2 pots worth. And obviously, because they're the bigger ones, there's sort of less in.
I know you've just put this back in.
No,
but can I just?
No,
I know you've just put these back in.
I was really just wanting to show. I mean, other than the ones I've obviously got emptied out here, you can barely see where I've been.
Look at them. You're getting such a wealth of these.
Yeah.
Just want to remind you that this is on the screen now. It's WGIM20 and we did a discount price today, £16.95. 15 left. That is it. Once they're gone, they're gone. Quick reminder of exactly the gemstones we have in here. Now I have sort of got some of the boxes in and some out, but you get 20 of these little pots in your box. Obviously we've taken some of the pots out. You'll get a full pot box. You've got in this garnet, you've got amethyst, you've got your clear quartz, you've got your sky blue apatite, you've got your rose quartz, you've got your aventurine, you've got citrine in here. You've got such a mix. You're going to be getting 10 different gemstones, 2 pots of each. You can see how much we've got left in here and how much is on here. But also she's created these beautiful pieces of jewellery.
Yes.
I'm in love with that bracelet.
Well, I just wanted to really kind of try the ladder weave with the nuggets, because it's not something you think, because they're irregular shapes, you wonder if it's going to work or not. So I'll just try it out really.
And it does work.
Yeah, but there's some larger of the garnet and some larger of the citrine, so I've kind of alternated it around the bracelet.
It's really pretty. And of course you have this beautiful ring. I love actually how you've spiralled this off. I think that's really interesting.
Yeah,
Can I put this on? You know what I'm like.
You can try. It's quite small. You've got small fingers, haven't you? Not my podgy ones.
I'm like Cinderella. I'll fit into any ring. I love them so much. But can you see what I mean about this spiral detailing that we have on the finger? Isn't that beautiful? It just adds a little bit of extra detail, doesn't it? That's really pretty.
Yeah, I have just once again I've just kind of wrapped them on, so probably needs a little bit more kind of tidying up and stuff with the
it's beautiful.
Wrapping,
and give us a little talk through exactly what you've done to this lovely necklace.
Well, I wanted to put the apatite and the amethyst together just because it is that kind of slightly more unusual combination, a little bit kind of fizzy kind of colours. And I was kind of reaching through the drawer and found the chain in there with the sort of big circles. I thought I'm going to use that.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
So yeah, so again, all I've done essentially it's the same as the folds. I've just kind of wrapped a bit of wire on, threaded the stones on, and then wrapped it the other side. And then the amethysts, because they're kind of single in there, didn't quite fit, so I've just used some little beads to space it out really.
Okay. Just want to let you know we've had to take the graphics off because I've got literally how many left of one left of the matrix box. One left of this matrix box with the 20 pots in it. I have one left. So we're going to put the graphics back up for the 925 sterling silver backs. But I just wanted to say, you just sparked my imagination then. You know what I'm like some days. You see this chain that we have here? You know, we had that moulding compound before.
Yeah.
You could mould one of these in, couldn't you? And then you can make as many of those as you want.
Yeah.
And then you can make these beautiful necklaces time and time, because it's amazing how different just the pops of colour give you, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many ways you could wrap stones on to those. I've just kind of gone through the centre, just...
It's fab, isn't it? This is a picture of your butterfly backs. You'll see they've got 10 pairs in total. We haven't had them on in ages, and then we've got a few in, but I've only got a few left today. 10 pairs in total. They're working out as £1 per pair for 925 sterling silver, and we haven't had them for ages, and it's amazing. October was the last time we had them in. If you're working with your high-end gemstones, you want to do beautiful earrings with high quality, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you think about it, you don't want to put in all this work with all these beautiful gemstones and then just finish it off to an ability where you could do better. And at £1 per pair, 50 pence each, you could easily do that today with your 925 sterling silver. And they have the beautiful little teddy bears as well, and because you've got the butterfly backs on them, you saw earlier when I popped them in, because it has the butterfly back, it locks it into place, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
It's really secure. So if you are doing some pieces with your shepherd hooks, and perhaps sometimes your shepherd hook will rock forward because it's so heavy, you don't have to worry about it with this, because you've got the back there just to keep it completely locked in place, really secure. All of these 10 pairs of genuine 925 for £9.95 for 10 pairs today. Teresa, thank you as always. You've done a cracking job today. When are you next on with us?
Next Sunday, actually.
Next Sunday you're on. And have you had your kits yet?
I have, yes.
What are you going to be doing?
Well, one, I'm still designing out at the moment.
Still in a little
but
play.
It's very nice. I'm loving that one. And the other one, can I give a hint?
Go on.
It's got wire in it that you could do a sterling job with.
Good tip. I like that. So we will see Teresa on Sunday. Myself, I will be with you on Wednesday, joined by... Kirsty's forgotten. 1 o'clock until 5 o'clock, joined by a guest designer. Teresa will, guest designer Nadine. We will see you on Wednesday. Miss It, Miss Out show now. Last night of the Miss It, Miss Out sale this evening. I will see you on Wednesday. Enjoy your evening.
Tune into Jewellery Maker every day at 5 p.m. for our Miss It, Miss Out show, where we'll have